180. He's calling them pedos every fucking chance he can. He started this off like months ago, kind of planning the ideas, and now he's just going full on with it in like the most asinine, stupid way possible. I can't even comprehend, because it gets so much worse. It gets so much stupider. You know why? Because this idiot is using Vito, a literal fucking pedophile, to fucking back himself up. Now people are gonna be like, well, Vito's never been convicted that we know of. Vito's never touched a kid that we know of. The thing that Vito does is he does the Amos G thing. You know, if you guys know who Amos G is, he's that guy that would talk about like children and how he wants to do this and that to them. And then it came out that he's like a fucking predator or like a pedo or something. Oh my god, big surprise. If you're just like fluently multiple times are comfortable with saying that you want to touch kids, it's a fair assumption to make that you're actually a pedo. All right, I think that's fair, right? And this fucking guy, man, Vito, Jesus fucking Christ, the amounts of times he's been archived, whether it's defending cuties, which already is a fucking red flag in itself, whether it's the association with Mr. fucking Girl, aka Max fucking Carson, whether it's him saying that we need to have sympathy for whatever, what did he say, pedophiles or non-offending pedophiles or MAPS. He actually fucking said that. All right, that was Vito being serious. Like, he goes from I was joking, bro, to like, I'm serious. We need to have empathy for these people. It's like, what the fuck is happening? And the reason Vito's even brought into this equation now is because ever since he started fucking with Nick, and Nick started giving him a pass, because this is the kind of weasel Nick is, he'll defend pedophilia and he'll downplay pedophilic actions if it benefits him. That is literally, and to be fair to the nose, that is literally 80% of the fucking internet, to be honest. Like, I shit you not. Like, the thing with Dr. Disrespect, that's another fucking example. Jeremy, the fat ass from the quartering, he's literally lying to people. He's spreading that fake news, even though he wants to suck Trump's cock. He's still spreading that fucking fake news, saying that Dr. Disrespect only sexted a 17-year-old while he was 38. That makes it based. It's like, bro, that's not... that was never fucking confirmed. That's a lie. You're spreading the fake news. We don't like fake news. Okay? So, literally, it's just like... Nick falls under this trap too. Defend your favorite pedo. We don't even want to get into, like, the Drex thing, where I think that's where some of the... like, the friendship between Noel and Nick kind of started to fall off, because you already know about the shower text, and you already know about Nick giving him, like, Noel the wink wink, hey, God, hey, you know, your forum said this about Drexel, and I want to tell you, but I don't want you to do anything, but I just want to tell you that they're wrong, and they're misinformed, and that they're wrong. And hey, buddy, did I tell you they were wrong? They're wrong, by the way. That's misinformation, Noel. I'm just letting you know. I don't want you to do anything. I'm calling you naked in my fucking bathroom right now, but I don't want you to do anything, all right? I'm just letting you know that everything you said about Drexel is wrong. It's like, bro, like, it's so shameless with this guy. And now Vito's going around, Vito the pedo, and dude, I'm already kind of pissed off, and we haven't even talked about Dax, right? Okay, it's like, what the fuck is... what is happening? What is going on? Okay. All right. Now, admittedly, I don't know what's in my timeline right now. So, it's my first time scrolling through my time. I don't know what I've liked during the week. We'll see. All right. My wonderful Twitter account. Yeah, I don't know half the shit that happens here. Oh, yeah, here's the fucking Jake the Viking shit. This guy defending a sex offender or whatever. We'll get to him, because we'll cover him on the Mr. Beast section of the thing, you know, the Mr. Beast thing, and then what we're gonna do. Okay, so there was a poll earlier on, right, before the stream went live, and it's like, pick the first topic, as I told you before, but I'll repeat it again in case anybody missed it. So whatever gets you know, the highest vote is going to get priority on the topics, and the second one will get a little bit, and then the third one will only get a little kind of section or whatever. So Rekieta came in first, a big fucking surprise there. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna talk about Nux a little bit, and then we're gonna go over some Mr. Beast shit. It's kind of there. It's more on like the kind of speculation territory and debate, whatever. This is the juicy stuff, though, the Rekieta stuff. All right, because literally, you will not find another e-celeb that'll go around and just shamelessly just be like, no, you. And he's still doing it 27 fucking minutes ago, right? He's still arguing with Kiwifarms.net, right? Now, this website over here, or not, this Twitter account, X account, whatever you want to call it, apparently just posts information about the farms and stuff. People have told me that this is just Josh's account or something. I don't know how true that is. But if it is Josh's account, well, awesome. So yeah, Nick in real time, right? So here you go, shamelessly saying it's a good day or whatever. He is also taking shots at Legal Mindset. There's Diddler Dax over there. Here's Rekieta kind of like backing Vito up a little bit. Banned Vito after one post while letting his own pedophile have an account for over 5 years. Oh my fucking god, whatever. Here's him signal boosting Vito because this idiot went to his defense. And again, this guy is literally the person that said that he wants to touch your kids and do this and that to children, and that you should have empathy for maps or some shit. It's so fucking stupid, bro. All right, like this is just, it's like, it's so shameless, man. It's so shameless. Where do we go? Where do we start with this? I guess we could go all the way to the very beginning, because I was planning on making like and I probably still will make its own upload on, you know, on the channel and stuff. I kind of did like a 9-minute short, you know, like video recap or something of the entire thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and we'll start from the top, right? We'll start here. This is where it all started. All right, Rekieta, August 15th. Oh, but don't worry, we got clips too, bro. All right, we got fresh clips right here. Fucking smell it, smell them, bro. We got the fresh clips right here. All right, right here, courtesy of a girl over here. We got the coat fest between Dax and Rekieta. We got got a little clip here, Monograph versus Rekieta. That's still a thing. Aaron, the cuckold that apparently beats his wife, that Rekieta let into his house because he thought that was a smart idea. You know, because Nick is the smartest judge of character that you should never question. And, you know, he has all the answers and, you know, all that good stuff. Got Aaron weighing in here. Casino clips. This is, I think this one over here, which happened 2 days ago at Mad of the Internet, where Null went over that Nick doesn't know the law and stuff. I think that's what really kind of pissed Nick off and what made him go and start to spurg out and shit. And dude, like, I'm not shitting you. He's been doing this for like well over 24 hours. I'm surprised he tweeted like 27 minutes ago about this entire thing. Like, he's still fucking going. It is what it is. We're just going to read this. We're going to have fun. All right. So let's see what Rekieta said. Okay. So the first person to request the body cam footage in my case was a volunteer reporter for Kiwifarms. He was a registered flex offender, sex offender, whatever. Flex offender, that's Nux Taku. All right. But it's so funny. Nux, the serial flex offender, pal. Didn't Rekieta like fucking collaborate with Nux Taku too at one point? That's fucking funny. Yeah, he did actually. He did. Okay, that's even funny. You know, Nux, our good friend Nux, who wanted to collaborate with Shadman. You know, the guy that drawed Keemstar's toddler daughter in a realistic fashion. That's who Nux wanted to collab with. So, you know, Rekieta only picking the best of them right here. Apparently, good shit, bro. Good stuff, Rekieta. Really smart judge of character. Again, you know, you hang out with all these fucking Ralph of the infamous Killstream. Ethan Ralph of the illustrious Killstream. God, you got, you know, Drex there, Kumalot, fucking, and then like you shamelessly cut out the people that just call you out too. Like, again, you were all up Null's ass, you know. You're doing all this stupid, slimy shit. You love Null, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, actually, Mr. Moon is a pedo, and he escaped the country. And then you're going ahead and you're like, actually, this like, wow, Nick. It's almost like you had this information that Null left the country like a while back, and you didn't say anything bad about it. It's almost like you were like not trying to poison the well or smear anybody back then, right? But now I guess it's free game, right? So let's read this shit. He was a registered offender for a CP named Jason Close. The convicted pedo was a frequent commenter of Kiwifarms. Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god. Instant affiliation, guys. He's talking on a public forum. That must mean he represents all of Kiwifarms. Oh my god. Oh yeah, did I also mention this idiot was the convicted pedophile sex offender that Nick is trying to frame on Kiwifarms? Did you know? Fun fact. He is also a member of Rekieta's public locals community, which Nick wants to emphasize is public. Hey, you know what else is public, dipshit? Kiwi fucking farms. So what, bro? You're like 1 for 1, okay? Because it's like, it's so stupid to try to frame it as Kiwi farms equal pedo, because Nick, that same one was in your locals, all right? Like, it's so stupid. You are indirectly saying that if we're gonna go with your story, pedos must like you too. So it's like, what the fuck? This doesn't even make any sense. The pedo farms meme doesn't make any fucking sense. Pedo law, Rekieta ped, like what the fuck? The same could be said about you. This is why it doesn't work. But of course we got rebards like Diddler Dax, right? Fucking Ralph is probably doing this shit too. I haven't even checked because Ralph blocked me like a while back. I was laughing at him because he got shed on by Flamenco, and I pointed it out to him, and then he blocked me. But Ralph is probably going with this. I know fucking Diddler Dax is doing it, and of course Vito the pedo, the breaker of narratives. All right, like that's what he likes to call. I just don't get it, man. Like Vito, how does Vito go from saying he wants to touch your kids to having like Nick give him the wink and the nod and give him a little bit of a push and be like, okay, do the Nick impression.
Well, Vito is not actually a pedo. He just made edgy jokes.
It's like, dude. Yeah, that's what it is, Nick. It's just edgy jokes. Is that what it is? Is that what Vito's saying he wants to touch children? Is that what it is? It's just edgy jokes, bro. It's like, I don't know. Even if you wanted to go with that idea, right? Isn't that a little unbecoming of a lawyer, a professional, an alleged professional? Right? Like, that's what Nick has been, like, trying to con the entire internet to believe, right? I'm a lawyer, all right? I'm a professional, you know? I know I wish death on people on a regular basis, but I'm nothing but professional. I have no idea why people would want to get me disbarred, even though I literally wish death upon people on a regular fucking basis. And I'm such a pussy that I don't even fucking straight up say it. I have to do it in this roundabout, weaselly fucking lawyer voice with my weaselly fucking tone all the fucking time because I'm such a fucking pussy. That's what fucking Nick does. But this professional lawyer that totally cares about his kids, bro, it's, you know what? It's you Kiwi farmers that are the problem. You're the danger, the children. I'm going to keep an offender like Vito. I mean, I'm going to keep a joker like Vito because that's all it is, guys. He's a joke. He's not a liability. I would let Vito, wait, hold on. That's not the Nick impression.
I would let Vito take care of my children. I mean, I let Drex near my children, okay? I let Aaron near my children, okay? Of course. Of course I would let Vito hang out with my children, okay? I am only the best judge of character. It's you Karen pedo farmers that are the problem. Okay? It's like, dude, what is this irony? What is this fucking warped dimension that we're in, bro? Ugh. I gotta tell you one thing, though. The only good thing that comes out of this is like, well, there's content, right? There's a video to be made. You know, there's a conversation to be had. There's chuckles. There's laughs. There's something to feel, right? Because you can't believe that this is an actual human being. You can't believe this is an actual father, allegedly. All right, like, I don't know, man. X to doubt. Lady Rackets is a fucking whore. I kind of wonder at this point how many of those kids are actually yours, Nick. All right. And seemingly, as you don't give a shit about them as much as you want to lead on to the internet, right? I don't know. It kind of puts a lot of things into question. But again, he's trying to go and frame this all on Kiwifarms. Now, I say this right here, by this individual says,
It would be really interesting to see what 2019 Nick cover 2024 Nick. 2019 Nick would 100% want you to cover the case live, and I showed you the clip. I put it in my video today. I made sure that it was the first thing you saw, because this is true. And I'll go and find it, and I'll play that clip for you in a little bit. Remember, all the trials and their materials should be open for the public for the safety of people involved, from the government, and for the integrity of the courts. So Nick gets fucking ratioed on this one, right? This one he moral grandstands and he tries to frame, like the farm. Anytime, you want to know the secret to the internet? I'll tell you the secret of the internet, okay? One of the secrets, all right? One of the many, many secrets. When you moral grandstand, you'll get a lot of support. You saw it with Jake the Viking, right? That guy moral grandstood the fuck. And anybody that covers the Mr. Beast shit, if they're overly grandstandy, they're gonna get a lot of fucking clout out of it. All right. Now, Jake the Viking, after he got exposed for having a sex offender as a brother-in-law that he still defends, well, he's not getting that much interaction. All right. Because everybody hates a pedophile. Everybody in the right mind hates a pedophile, I would hope. So, of course, Rekieta's got to charge up those words and direct them at the Kiwifarms. Oh, pedophile, Kiwifarms, commenter, frequent commenter, all from those It's like, of course. But on the follow-up, Nick gets fucking ratioed. Why does he get ratioed? Because he's a fucking idiot. Because if you get over the moral grandstanding, if you get over the, hatred on the first tweet, which again, everybody has to hate a pedo.
Sen, shut the fuck up for a second, okay?
Then you'll realize.
Hey Sen, did you hear Nikki the Nose's government conspiracy is gaining legitimacy? The CIA was found out back in the 90s to be using the cocaine trade to fund their Black Ops. Sniff.
No, I didn't know that. Well, now I know. Thank you, Gigi Evans, for letting me know, and thank you for the 10. Appreciate it. Yeah, and that's another good point. Anybody can be on the farms. It's like, well, I already kind of covered that point. Anybody could be anywhere. Like, again, this person was a member of fucking Rekieta's locals and shit, and I'm gonna go over how he sidestepped that one, because again, like, it's kind of gold in the sense that he's just gonna keep, like, he talks and it's stupid. I almost think that this has to be like a play for him. Like, he has to he must be in on it. Like, he can't be this stupid, right? Like, I don't know. It's Nick. I mean, maybe the cocaine fried his brain. But anyway, he gets ratioed here, and this person said, you already know what he said. Ratioed. Nick says, I have many thoughts on that. I can't share during the pendency of my case. They'll likely become apparent. So Nick is still sticking to this whole, I can't talk about it right now, but he's still talking about certain shit that he wants to, like, labeling an entire forum sex offenders or pedophiles or anything. And again, it's a forum that he used to defend tooth and nail for. I mean, you have no idea what he was doing. He was sucking up to that forum so fucking much. Remember when they were helping you against Keffels, you fucking dipshit, you ungrateful son of a bitch? You remember that? Oh, you were all about them back then too, right, you fucking idiot? Oh, and then now all of a sudden, no, actually, they were all pedophiles. It's like, oh, cool, Nick, you took help from a bunch of pedos, from your own words. That's great. It's awesome, dude. Fucking retard, man. I don't know. I don't think you understand. He said, a 2019 Nick. 2024 Nick has been caught lying and manipulating everybody so many times. I'm not really all that interested in what that guy has to say. So this one, close to a ratio over there. Nick still kind of has a little bit of the public opinion. He's got those 10 likes, all right, those 10 people out there, or it could just be sock accounts, whatever. Rekieta is not one to be to shy away from his good old ops. And we got Ethan Van Sciver over here, the guy that said we should blame children, right, for like not or let the children take care of it. It's okay, whatever. It's Ethan. You already know about Ethan, all right? Probably make another video on Ethan. Well, we got Rekieta over here. Why don't we go all the way back here? Okay, we gotta go up. There's another one by another Ethan Van Sciver, one of his frontliners too. So not a. What do we got? We're down to Vito, Dax Herrera, I guess Ralph, Kumalot, Ethan Van Skyber. Shit, am I missing anybody? If I'm missing anybody, let me know in chat. But no, oh, Barnes, those 6 people right after. What great lineup, by the way, stellar lineup. So we're at 6. I don't know. Let me know if I missed anybody. Who else are the? I know. Maybe Chrissy Meyer, right? Now keep in mind, some of these names I've never fucking heard about. Neither do I really care unless there's something juicy to be brought up. Like again, the Chrissy Meyer person. Who that? All right, who that? All right. But I know that's probably one. But again, like if I'm missing any of the Balldo guards, you know, let me know so that you refresh my memory in the chat. So again, so this is where it kicks off. This is where Nick tries his, you know, Kiwifarms his pedos angle. And then here we got over here, Nick going in. This is when he sticks it. This is when he makes the big one. This is when I was just gonna call it like he's weaponizing his kids at this point. And it's fucking, it's fucked up and it's also funny. Like Nick, the guy, right? The guy that put his kids in danger in the first place by letting Aaron, whatever his name is, the cuckold, right? The woman beater, right? The drug addict into his fucking house so they can swap, you know, what, wives and shit while their kids sleep in the next room. This fucking guy, right? He wants to talk about he wants to talk about this shit. Like, it's so fucking ironic. It's so crazy. He has no shame. It's almost like he just wants people to just like, it's like, oh, if I bullshit enough, maybe I can get away with it. So here you got Nick saying, this is when you're in so deep on the internet, you may not realize how much you look like a fucking creep. Dude is finding several-year-old real estate listings to try and figure out where my kids sleep. Nick used to defend this. You would defend this kind of behavior, you fucking dipshit. You have fucking years of defending this kind of behavior. This is the fucking irony in all this. It's the rules for thee, but not for me. It's the, I'll keep these people around and I will prop them up to the moon, but the second they turn on me, or whatever, I'm gonna go ahead and moral grandstand and I'm gonna paint them in the worst light possible. It's like, bro, Nick, you defended this behavior. You were okay with this behavior. You encouraged it. You encouraged it, jackass. What are you talking about? So let's see. Nick over here, Ethan Van Skyver. And the thing is, it's so dishonest because you already know why people want the body cam footage. Okay? You already know. You're just bullshitting. This is what I mean by you're weaponizing your kids now. You're such a sleazeball. You have to weaponize your underage kids. This is worse than when you were cross-dressing in front of them for money, right? You know, back when you were bitching about the public education system, you're going to go ahead and dress up like a woman, though, for money on the internet. That's cool. That clip is still around, by the way. Shout out Lisa Clips again. Good job. Good job. Father of the fucking year. All right? But it's fucking insane, bro. Like, what is wrong with you? You're such a ball of, I don't know, a ball of irony, a ball of hypocrisy, really. And then it's like the shamelessness of it all. I'm sure you'll find an old really. This is again Nick Rekieta, who makes jokes about children and their wee-wees and shit for whatever reason. Again, the first time I heard him say that, right, I was like, this has to be Vito's influence. Like, surely Nick isn't an actual sex offender. Now there's kind of X to doubt. There's a lot of projection that's happening with Rekieta. I don't know. Like, I know some people that cover want to keep it professional. I don't have to be professional with Rekieta. He's a piece of shit. He wants to act like a fucking shithead. I'll act like a shithead back to him. All right? He wants to try to be cool in his little midlife crisis. All right, fine. I could do it better. But no, straight up, though, that's not even me being bad faith. That's literally your own words, Nick. You're making these fucking weird remarks about children and shit. You're doing a lot of sus shit. I mean, you already got exposed for a swinger. You already got exposed for drugs and shit, even though you told the audience it's not true, never happened, blah, 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 gets exposed. So I don't know. You're two for what? So what is this? This is why nobody wants to be around Kakeda. Don't blame Eric July for that. Again, another one that had the hate boner for Eric July right here. Going ahead, and Ethan Van Skyver, beautiful guy, awesome. So here's Rekieta quote tweeting Kiwifarms.net. This is what right here made him initially mauled, right? So Rekieta fights the petition for record hearings, attempting to smear anyone interested in recordings as a pedophile out to harm his children. And this one points out the same children which the state exhibits show he is exposed to cocaine. Again, and this is another one of the cop-outs. It's I think Diddler Dax was saying this a lot. They were like, oh, well, you know, he wasn't giving the kids cocaine and shit. It's like, regardless, bro, even if you want to give Nick the most charitable interpretation, whatever reason, I can't imagine why, but even if you did, he let a guy bring cocaine, because we know Nick's a user. We do know that, all right? So he let a guy bring drugs into his house, right? Like, Nick, you have enough money to where you can, I don't know, afford another house maybe, or apartment. You know, if you really want to be a druggie and shit, I don't know, go somewhere else. Don't leave it where your underage children are, you know, unless you get off on that, which again, by the times you've been making all those weird jokes and talking about that one weird film where you really like the weird taboo relationship between an adult and a minor for some reason. Again, I don't know why. Out of everything, you guys know the clip that I'm talking about. What is it? Is it the American Beauty shit? It's on Elisa's channel, whatever. We'll find it. We'll revisit it sometime. But for some reason, Nick has this weird pedophilic hyperfixation on the taboo of an adult with a minor. So again, it's like, I'm sorry if the whole, like, the projection from Nick is just fucking amazing. It's just so amazing, but it's just like, you can't help but point it out, because this weird shit that he does and he says, and it's like, then he goes around and he's like, well, actually, you're all the pedos, not me. I'm cool, all right? I'm the dad of the internet. I'm the law pope. I'm not weird, okay? I only talk about children's wee-wees, okay? And American Beauty and the taboo relationship between a minor and an adult. But that's not weird. I also love Beto, okay? And I like Drex a lot, except when he's not on my side. Like, a pure gold mine of irony is this guy. But here's the kicker again, and what kind of fucks him up. The pedophile that allegedly requested the body cam footage is actually a member of Rekieta Law's private community on Locals, and has been for almost 2 years. Right here, you have the proof. The illegal mindset going on, fun finding out that while we also oh my god, here is where the totally not pedophile Vito, the breaker of narratives that was talking about touching underage children because he thought it was funny, here's where he came in, and now he's trying to pull the big gotcha. Look, my god, dude, like, if anybody's gonna pull this gotcha, this is not the guy. I think we can all agree. And even if you want to be Rekieta's strongest soldier, don't be this guy, bro. Don't be the actual pedo trying to defend the lawyer, right? What the fuck? Like, it kind of makes sense, though, because if Nick is still a lawyer, he can weasel in all these legal defenses for Vito when he inevitably gets caught for child pornography, right? And it's Vito. It'll eventually, like, he'll slip up. All right, he slipped up on that on the one Freudian slip. Where he's kind of almost self-admitted to be a pedo, okay? So it is eventually, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. But then here he goes, why did you not ban him from the forum when he admitted to being a convicted child rapist in 2019? So we got this over here. Apparently this is the big gotcha over here. But again, you know, same could be said to Rekieta, question mark. Been a member of the farms for 5 years. Has a little role here, though. As you can see, convicted pedophile, registered sex offender. So they're not keeping this guy silent. All right. Nick said nothing. Nick has been fucking quiet about it. Again, I'm just saying the same thing could apply to fucking Rekieta. All right. But MrSEN, you know, Diddler Dax really leaning in with this. Why didn't you ban the pedo? To no. They're trying to flip this. And at the same time, too, Diddler Dax has been doing this, was doing it a bunch on the stream, right? He's trying to redeem Vito even more shamelessly than Rekieta. he's like, Vito never got, like, it's like, oh my God, bro. It's like, what is this bar? So then we got here, Rekieta saying Kiwifarms wouldn't be misrepresenting their pedo. Again, trying to lean with the idea that the Kiwi farmers like this guy in any way. That's what Nick is trying to imply or insinuate. He's trying to label them like, oh, you see, this pedophile, that's also in my community, by the way. Yeah. He's from strictly Kiwi Farms, homie. It's like, dude. So he says, wow, Kiwi Farms would be misrepresenting their pedo. What they? Oh, wait, this person is a member of the free part of my locals, along with 50,000 other people. Again, this same fucking mindset, this same logic could be applied to the Kiwi Farms, bro. Okay? Because the Kiwi Farms is a literal public forum that you pay $0 for to fucking just post your locals. It's like, do you see why it doesn't fucking work, Nick? Again, did the coke roast your brain so much? Your brain cells, the last remaining brain cells, that one black substance that couldn't be identified? You forget that? Oh no, we're not just working with fucking cocaine here. There was a couple substances there that couldn't be identified, Nick. So what the fuck are you? Are you going to the dark web? Are you getting that good shit? What are you doing, bro? That's not something a good father would be doing, right? But again, you know, what do I know? Nick has got it all figured out. All right. So here he is. Now he's trying to tie in Josh into this. Amazing that Mr. Moon would attempt to whitewash the avid 5-year membership to Kiwi Farms by pointing to a free membership that I don't understand what his point is here. You can see this, his avidly anti-Nick posting history. Dude is pure Kiwi Farms. And now Nick is trying to run with the narrative that if you're anti-Nick, you must be a pedo. So again, now, see how he's just trying to build up a defense for himself now? Because he's already been exposed for pretty much everything. It's just the shameless grifters that are still enabling his behavior, trying to prop him up, like Kumalot. Kumalot, Camelot, whatever you want to call him. That degenerate over there trying to say, oh, actually, Nick got a W, guys. We got fucking Ethan Ralph. Oh, he owned the A-logs. It's like, you guys are fucking delusional freaks. Fuck both of you. Fuck right off. And then fucking, in Camelot's case, it kind of makes sense. He's a fucking grifter that's just gonna lie through his crooked little teeth just to get any bit of money and clout that he can from Nick. Ralph, oh fuck, Ralph is like on life support in terms of like an internet career, I believe. I think so. I don't know. You told me about that, chat. I don't know much about the Ralph Mail. Maybe the Ralph Mail is good. I already got that. He had that one redemption arc for about a week and shit when he turned on Fuentes. I don't know what happened after that. That was his good guy arc, I think, and it lasted all about maybe 2 weeks or so. I don't know. I don't know the details. Okay, please inform me on that. How's the Ralph Mail nowadays? So we got here, we got this over here saying, and the thing that to note though is Nick is actually replying to people that don't really have, I don't want to say they don't have significance, but like they don't have an internet presence, right? They're just random commenters and chatters with like gotchas though, granted, right? So we got this person saying, amazing that Mr. Rekieta would attempt to whitewash the Abbott 5-year video interviewing pedos on his YouTube by pointing to a free membership on Kiwi Farms. As you can see, Nick only got on this high horse for his legal strategy. So again, and Nick gets ratioed by this, okay? That's the fucking hilarious thing. A random fucking account, right? With not even close to the fucking fucking followers Nick has or whatever, fucking ratios this fool or whatever, because look, it was a good interview. Everyone should watch. He said pedos cannot be reformed and always need accountability. So there's Nick, you know, taking it up the butthole once again. It says, no, I would rather watch Legal Mindset destroy your emotion and expose you for the fraud you are. Not a pedo. Oh, I'm the good pedo. I recognize I need accountability. He needs the wall. And then Rekieta says, I hope he had fun destroying our opposition to the motion. We prevail. So again, taking a little bit of a shot at Legal Mindset. Really what it is too is that Nick knows that he himself will get bodied by Legal Mindset and he'll look bad. So what he needs is he needs attack dogs like Diddler Dax that pretty much has nothing to lose. You already know about Dax. He's a pedo, pretty much. He's right there. If not, he's pedo adjacent at this point, right? He doesn't care about that shit. He's so corrupt at this point that like the idea of that, like, again, he's trying to redeem Vito, and that speaks volumes. But Nick needs a good little attack dog. So, of course, he's going to send Dax out there to attack Legal Mindset because Rekieta's too much of a fucking pussy to do it himself because he knows he's going to get bodied. All right? So he says, yeah, he didn't win on the merits of his filing. I hope the BS he put... Oh, wait, I didn't even read this one. Well done, Nick. You had a temporary reprieve. Note that the court just defaulted to Rule 4.03a and said the petition was premature. At no point did the judge agree with your Kiwifarms or pedos. Your jury trial is going to be on camera. Yeah, he didn't win the merit of his filing up. The BS he put in it makes people realize not to bother watching any trial stream he eventually decides to do. Ignore that the rule was the key part of the motion. Your Nick trying to use big words, hug box, is embarrassing. Well, it doesn't matter. The 2 filings in my kit. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of weird that you only get 6 interactions on this one. I wonder if people just like zoned out after a while and they're like, "Okay, we get it, Nick. Relax." That doesn't matter. The 2 filings in the case today matter a lot. Nick is intentionally ignoring the fact that this ruling only applies to his pre-trial hearing. Nick omits the fact that the prosecution nor the court had any concerns of minor safety. Nick omits the prosecution does not expect minors to testify despite McKeed's horseshit. Nick goes on to say, I haven't ignored or omitted anything. I have barely even spoken on it other than to say we prevailed. You imagine some conversations to pretend I ignored something. Par for the course. So Nick going ahead and he's feeling good. All right. He's feeling good. So Nick, again, continuing to say, oh, he even has so many positive interactions, he got achievement. So again, trying to say that the farms supports pedophiles and stuff. This one is where Signal boosts Vito. This one is when he just retweets a random account. Say he banned Vito after 1 post. So I guess what he's trying to say is that, oh, an actual sex offender is allowed here, but like Vito, who is totally clean and has done nothing, you know, he's immediately gone. This is Vito is a far more high-profile user, so he was detected and banned far sooner. Moderation of the forums and social media spaces isn't perfect. Twitter, yeah, because hey, guess what? Dipshits over here. If that was the case, why the fuck did Nick get rid of him? Okay, not only is this entire thing retarded, because here's the thing. Again, we've established this is Kiwifarms public fucking site. Public. Anybody joins, right? Anybody does whatever, right? Nick Rekieta uses the same fucking defense because the same pedo, MrSEN and all of them are trying to frame on the farms was a fucking member of Rekieta's locals. You can think of it as Rekieta's locals being a Kiwifarms as well, right? It's a public place where you get whatchamacallit, like public access to whatever, interact in there, right? Same fucking shit. It's the same thing, Nick. If Null and the farms are incompetent about this person, so are you. If you want to go with the angle that Kiwifarms defends pedos, so do you, because you're so incompetent you let this guy be a part of your version of Kiwifarms, which is your gay little locals. So this is not the got you think it is, because if we were to even be charitable and go with Nick's interpretation, that means he's just as bad. No, he's probably worse, because you know what? The farms will get rid of Vito immediately. Nick will try to prop him up. Nick will try to make Vito look good. That's the difference here. You're worse. Even if we go with your interpretation, even if we feed into your bullshit for a second, you're worse. All of you are infinitely worse. That's the reality, folks. Okay? But Nick will try to... Nick will try... Nick is so desperate. He's gonna retweet this absolute fucking nobody with under 100. Why doesn't Nick retweet the fucking under 100 followers that own him and out-ratio him? Why doesn't he do that? Oh no, it's gotta be these degens over here. All right. God. So here it is. This is what I mean. All right. So this is what I mean by Nick is such a fucking pussy. He needs Diddler Dax to fight his battles for him. So he gets Diddler Dax to attack Legal Mindset, and then Nick can be a sleazeball and weasel his way into this and be like, oh, I'm just commenting on what Diddler Dax is saying. You know, I'm not trying to pick a fight with Legal Mindset or anything. So we got Diddler Dax saying, Lazy Eyes half-wit, Legal Mindset thinks Rekieta gay opt his body cam footage by sending a convicted pedo back in time to pretend to be a farmer for 5 years to request his arrest, blah, 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 blah. And he says Nick is guilty because Nick associates with the offenders. These guys are so dumb. So again, he's trying to downplay whatever, blah, 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 work your narrative, baby girl. And here's Nick over here. Amazing. They keep saying he was a member of my locals. He was an unpaid member. He's still a member nonetheless. This is the point, you idiot. He was unable to comment or even like post. That doesn't matter. He was a member of your fucking thing, Nick. It doesn't matter. He was able to be. You're incompetent. You're equally incompetent, jackass. Meanwhile, he won badges on Kiwifarms for being so thoughtful. As usual, Legal Mindset can't see what's directly in front of him. So Nick, thinking this is the gotcha he is, I don't know, man. At least I don't know if you know, Legal Mindset has kids, but at least he doesn't endanger them by having weird people, you know, woman beater to be specifically, whores to be specifically, come into their house, you know, do, you know, and it's kind of pedophilic in itself, Nick. If you want to be bad faith as shit, okay, sure. Here's the pedophile in you, Nick. You're so pedophilic that you will have sex with strangers while your kids sleep in the other room. That's how you want to be bad faith. All right, Nick Rekieta, for some reason, I don't know why, likes having sex in the other room while his kids sleep. I don't know why. It's so weird, right? That's some pedo shit, bro. Some weird pedo shit. Only pedos would do. Nick, why are you doing pedo shit, bro? Kind of weird, bro. All right? I don't know. It's like, again, this is the bad faith bullshit I'm talking about. But if Nick wants to be a bad faith scumbag, I don't see why anybody else can. All right? I don't know why else anybody else can. I'm just saying, you want to keep that same energy. You want to be a piece of shit, Nick. All right. All right, baby girl. I got you. There you go. And Nick over here, again, can't get Josh out of his mind. Right? Going ahead. You remember Nick said he doesn't care and he's above this. And, you know, you can say whatever you want about him. It's not going to get to him. Well, I mean, I guess he kind of goes back on that. He goes ahead and he says, Josh's cope here is amazing. The fact that he reads this statement as calling out a lie is testament to how incapable he is of understanding something. He should do a push-up. So then, you know, we got this. I guess presumably this is Josh. It says, the state has filed a statement that Rekieta Law is lying that minors are likely to be testifying. The hearing on the 21st will not be streamed. The public may still attend, dress, and behave respectively. And then he says, the request to broadcast the omnibus hearing was denied. The judge chooses to apply traditional rules of pre-jury selection. After jury selection, he will ask again. So we got people here. Oh my god, is that a fuck? What is that thing? Whatever. It's a thing. It says, I love that your entire resistance revolves around what's happening with Rekieta. You know, kind of like how Rekieta's entire fucking existence is to leech off of more famous people and pretend to know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, you know, like Vic Mignogna, Johnny Depp, whatever fucking person he wants to grift of the month. You know, that, you mean that existence? Hello? Hello, he, she over here, person, creep, potential man. Think. I said this before. These people make me ashamed to be, you know, conservative, because it's like, that's what they put. They're like, I'm a MAGA conservative. I'm a patriot. I'm a freedom lover. It's like, no, you're retarded. You're a fucking disgrace to us. Please do not claim this thing. Get rid of it. disgusting human being. And then we got more lying from the pedo farms. See, Nick really wants to work that angle, right? The pedo farms. Who was the last person to try to work that? It was Ralph. It was fucking Ralph. The transformation will be complete. Okay, remember when people were saying, oh, there's no way Nick will ever turn into Ralph. Whoa, we're kind of seeing it right here in full circle, right? So it says, most importantly, if you're a convicted pedo, stay home. You can sign up to Kiwifarms and follow the proceedings from there. So there you go. Then we go, continue on. Dress and behave respectably. The other day, I noticed Null using we and more directly and specifically referring to Kiwi Farm as a organized group. He represents the opposite in federal court. Again, Josh already explained that. He already knows. All right. So that's the last. Yeah, that's the last message Nick had about an hour ago. You know, and then he fights with like random accounts or whatever. So again. Okay, so apparently Nick has been using alt accounts too. And he won't answer to this. Let's see. Oh, right. So this is the clip I played initially. I'll play it right now too. But this is from let me get a little bigger. Does that fit on the screen? Yeah, that fits on the screen. Yeah. So I'm gonna play this clip again. It's on my video that I put today. The first thing you'll see, like the first 30 seconds. So let's see. What does Rekieta think?
Oh. You know what's actually could be really interesting about this is there could be people opting out of the public trial, the right to a public trial, because of the internet, not realizing like how bad it is to not have public trials.
Yeah, to have a what's that called, a bench trial when it's just the judge.
Well, no, I mean even bench trials are public trials, but just having like them in closed doors or behind closed doors that's one of the things that we literally fought against England about was the secret courts.
No.
Oh, there it is from Rekieta's own freaking mouth, ladies and gentlemen. But that is a part 1 of the Rekieta segment. All right, we're gonna go more into it. All right. Is my poll still up? Real quick. So yeah, the poll is still up. Okay, the poll's still up. Apparently it hasn't gone down. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Somebody let me know when the poll goes down. But continue to take it. And I don't know, whose side are you on right now, I guess, right? You guys on Nicky's side? Do you think Nick has made like the 180, like where he's got it all figured out and he's going to go ahead and he's just going to own everybody? He's going to own the A-logs. He's going to own his detractors and shit, and he's going to turn it upside down. Or are you still on Josh's team? And I guess the Kiwi Farms, not saying that they're a collective or anything. You know, I won't be bad faith like Nick over there saying, oh, when Josh said we, he obviously meant that yeah, no. But you get it, right? Whose side are you on? Actually, you know what? Let's make it even fairer. Are you on the farm side, Josh's side, or on Nick's side? Okay? There you go. I'll make it fairer that way. All right? So that's for now. A little bit of the Rekieta segment. Actually, I'm so amped up for that. We're just gonna go straight into the clips. I was gonna say let's dive into the other topic real quick, but no, I'm too invested in this right now. We're gonna look at the clips here. All right, the wonderful Elisa clips, and then we can go on to the other side ones. Because there is a couple other things over there, but this one takes priority. The other ones will probably be shorter segments. This one takes priority though. As we can look at Rekieta's cope stream or victory stream, whatever he wants to call it, that he did with Dax. So we got a bunch of clips from it, right? We got a kid with coke hair tests and county workers feeding lines, bad lawyers, the CPS incompetence, and the first hearing. You got MN public records and baseless accusations. And we got the 9-year-old testing positive for cocaine, an impossible result. The Kiwi Farms hug box, Nick feeds his kids, and Nick and Drex, trouble in paradise. Yeah, so that's the one thing. Like, I heard yesterday and I was like, what the fuck? So apparently Drexel and Nick are not on good terms right now. All right, who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? All right. Nick and Drex not on good terms, which is like, it's interesting because didn't they have like a fight over Nick had a fight with Null? Isn't that how it all started, sort of? When again, Nick was going on about how the Kiwifarms got it wrong when it came to Drexel. You know, shit like that. Isn't that what happened? Isn't that one of the catalysts for you know, whatever the I don't know how to call it, the breakup between Null and Josh, or Null, Josh, and fucking Nick? But wasn't that one of the catalysts? I think so. You know, the prosecutors like Nick Rekieta competition, Emily D. Baker would be super motivated to have Nick taken off the internet completely, as he hurts her image online as he really Law. Nick no longer Nick no longer has a black friend. Ralph backtracked because the Groypers were his main pay pigs. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, to go back to that for a second, I basically asked you guys, hey, what's going on with Ralph's like I don't know, face turn that he did, that brief 1 week that Ralph looked like he was gonna be praised and shit, or like brought back or redeemed because he turned on Fuentes. Oh, okay, so apparently that went out the toilet when Ralph realized that his main supporters were Groypers, and so he shot himself on the foot, and nobody really wanted to work with him. Okay, good. You know what? That does seem like a Ralph move. So, you know. But anyway, we'll go. I want to look at this one first. The Kiwifarms hug box. I want to know what Nick thinks of the Kiwifarms hug box, or what he thinks the Kiwifarms hug box is. And let's see, we got 57 comments on that. And you know what? We'll do the returning segment where we'll look at the commenters and see if we can find any funny ones over there. Okay, and we'll read some. All right. Or now, let's go ahead and see Nick's amazing wisdom on this. The Kiwifarms hug box. Nick Rekieta feeds his kids. So let's see what this has to do.
Low Watermark with a huge chat earlier. Thank you, brothers. He says, wait, you mean Kiwifarms might actually be wrong? No, they would never do that, would they? No, Kiwifarms sets themselves up to never be wrong by having a self-reinforcing hug box. They say everything, and then they go back and say, see, we said this back then. It's like, well, we didn't. One person said one thing.
Yeah.
For everybody on Kiwifarms who said there was that I was never getting my children back and would be going to prison forever, there was one person who said Nick will probably get his child back, or children back. They still think I'm a scumbag, which is fine, but he'll probably get his children back.
That's not enough for them. They need like you to also die. They get so whipped up into a frenzy that they need you to, like, they have a thirst for lol cows, people who are just totally oblivious to life and you know, openly challenge like reality in a funny way, but there's a limited supply. So they try to pretend that everyone famous is this weird degenerate freak that has no
Oh, Dax, nobody needs to pretend with you or Nick. I don't know what the fuck you're talking. I don't know what crack you're taking. Maybe Nikki slid some to you, flew some to you, but like, no, don't trust me. Nobody needs to pretend you're a freak. Nobody needs to pretend you're a lolcow. Nobody needs to pretend either of you are those things, because you are those things. So
recognition of reality.
When it's often like, yeah. It's funny because when you talk about Kiwifarms, if you talk about anyone like without specifically stating a user, but you say some people on there, they go, no, that's everybody. You're now talking about everybody, but you're not trying to. But there are people on that forum who legitimately project, this is what I was saying, the myopia of poverty. They project their circumstances onto everything. And these people have a basic disconnect with reality. And it shows up over and over and over again. I mean, because just the way they portray life. That one guy was so fucking funny.
Again, you prop these people up for 5 years. 5 years. I guess I'm just wondering if you're the all-knowing, all-intellectual, right, savior of the masses. You must have caught on to this, like, again, when you were grifting and using them 5 years ago, correct? Why the hell weren't you saying this shit back then, huh? Where was this energy back then, right? Back when you were all on good, where was this energy? I hate when they fucking do this shit every fucking time. You know, you're cool with all this behavior. You're cool with all this. You're perfectly fine. That should say enough about yourself. But then, you know, now you're gonna moral grandstand. Now you're gonna weaponize it. Now you're gonna pretend like you're any better, even if we were to feed into your bullshit. All right. Even if, what does that say about you, jackass? What does that say about you? It says enough that the common person with a fucking brain can fucking figure out you're not a healthy alternative. You're likely worse. Again, you are likely worse in every way, shape, and form if we were to humor your bullshit.
He's like, how could you even not have food around for kids? Like, well, there's shitloads of food. Like, guys, I spent more on food last year than most people on Kiwi Farms make annually. There's food. There's tons of food. The whole hunger thing was legitimately fucking retarded. It was actually a lie. And that's all recorded too, but we'll get around to it. That was a lie.
Man.
That was crafted.
Okay.
But and yes, I've prove it.
How are you going to retell this? How are you going to possibly, like, you got to write a book, right? Bestseller.
It's going to be
bestseller.
It's going to be fucking something. That's
you
I
have to shove it in Maddox's face.
but no. See, but he's like, look, you just get some nori and you get some hearts of palm noodles, and I'm like, he's talking about having food on hand for kids. He's like, you just throw it all in an air fryer and you just have it around for kids to just eat.
What
it's like,
the fuck?
it's like,
bro, you need like fruit snacks and gummy snacks and Annie's pretzels and bunnies and all this fucking shit. What are you talking? You fucking
food
weird
kids
fuck?
eat.
Yeah,
It's
cereal.
like, but this is the thing. It's like, this person does not cook for children, and that's fine. Why would you, unless you have them? But it's like, so they're like, look, this is how you do it. You just get these cheap meals. You go to Costco and buy a 100-pound bag of rice and just rice cooker up some stuff. And then the kids will just come around. They'll just scoop up and they'll hand roll their sushi. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, homie? Like, no child on earth does this. Like, they just eat.
Stay away from the neighborhood.
But they have this myopia where they're like, oh, this is how life is. It's like, no, this isn't how life is for most people. The Kiwi Farms people don't realize that when people are like, oh, you guys aren't like other girls.
Every time he makes these slight jabs at Kiwi Farms and tries to put them down, always remember this guy is the same guy that propped them up for 5 years. Apparently knowing all this, still propped them up for 5 fucking years, and is currently defending a pedophile named Vito. All right, just remember that. Because if Nick wants to be so asinine as to call an entire forum a bunch of pedos because they had the same pedo in Nick's locals, then we're well within our right to think Vito is a fucking pedophile. Because you know what, your friend Vito, your associate that you're giving the wink and the nod and you're trying to prop up and trying to redeem, and Dax is shamelessly redeeming, trying to, desperately. He was doing it multiple times in Nick's chat. You know what, that guy talks about touching kids quite frequently. So again, if we want to go with Nick's logic, Nick is defending a pedophile named Vito. All right? Which I'm sure you can find plenty of information about, right? And then, yeah, so it's out there, right? But that's Nick. Nick is okay with that too, because public info, right? Except if it's about him, then you're bad, then you're a pedo, then you're a creep. Meanwhile, Nick gets to talk about weird taboos about pedophilia, and that's just cool to him. So again, what the fuck is even what is even happening right now, bro? What is even happening? This guy is so stupid. He's well, maybe he's not like other lawyers. That's the thing. Nick is not like other lawyers. All right, guys. It's not like all those other lawyers like that. Those legal mindsets and those Sean's out there. I know Nick is a strong, independent lawyer that don't need no farms.
It's not an endearing thing. It's like, oh, you guys aren't like other girls. Ooh. Stay away. You're fucking weird.
Yeah,
You're
I've read
weird.
some of that. Everything they say
Prop those guys up for 5 years, by the way.
about like the kids in general and like what you're fucking up on. I think I might have seen that one. Like, this is how you cook for kids. You got to go down and get some mackerel packets at the dock. Bro, what are you talking? You don't see that shit on TV. You guys need to watch some sitcoms because your behavior is aberrant at best. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, and they have no and I get it. Like if you're not in like if you don't live in the life of having children or in a community full of like parents, you wouldn't know. Why would you? You're just cooking for yourself, for your boyfriend or whatever, and that's fine. But like the whole like cooking for children's like, yeah, you just get some hearts of palm noodles because they're high in protein. It's like, holy fuck, dude, what kind of
For sure, Flash is a father and he denounced your ass pretty easy. I don't know if he's gone back on that, but like again, that's just another example of what the bullshit that comes out of your mouth doesn't really make sense. Now I don't know if Flash has changed his opinion since then, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know if Rekieta would ever go against Yellow Flash. I don't know if Yellow Flash would ever go against Nick. I know there's like a little conflict there, or it could potentially be a conflict there.
Okay, I can see Nick knowing the type of food a kid eats cause he stopped buying it. But Diddler Dax knowing it is beyond Seuss, given he's a diddler.
True. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate it. And also true. Trust Fund Baby tries to shit on Kiwifarms. Lol. Dick looks like he's about 70 years old. The greasy bastard. Mandy was a dude trolling as a woman and broke the pedo Jesus heart. Nick's new favorite word, myopic. Nick legit has the gayest voice I've ever heard.
What do you mean? He talks like this.
What do you mean? Old Nick was more tolerable, sane, and intelligent. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like drugs, they do a lot to you. They fuck you up, especially when they're unknown black substances that you probably got off the dark web and shit. Yeah, they fuck with you. All right. I don't know, man. Fucking that person in chat that said that fucking Dax is greasy and shit. That's funny. Okay, that's funny as fuck. Yeah, he does. So I was wondering, dude. Is that like, am I off here, or is Dax like extra fucking greasy and fucking nasty? It looks like a fucking butterball and shit. I don't know, man. This is what Nick associates with. This is Nick's friend over here. His good pal. His good pal Diddler Dax.
What are you talking about? You have white bread, peanut butter, and jelly like that.
You know, they have to eat 3 times a day. Maybe 5.
It's so fucking funny. But then other people are like, you said you didn't read your threads. Like, well, I don't until something fucking retarded happens and I have to go and look for it. And like, I have to see what's going on. And then it's
wait, no, you don't have to do anything. What are you talking about, retard? Are you kidding me? This is so copious, man. This is copious.
It's like, well, I don't, but when this happens, even though I told you I don't care, I have to do this. I have to take affirmative action. It's like, bro, like oh shit, man. You can't make this shit up. I can't believe it. I can't believe this guy, man. You really can't make this shit up.
Like, oh, okay, this is what everybody's screaming at me about. And then I see this post about cooking for kids. And it's like,
again, Nick said he doesn't care about this shit apparently, but I guess he cares. I don't know, Nick. If I didn't care about something, people screaming at me would not make me go look at my thread and try to debunk the shit immediately, right? By hitting up Josh in secret. It's another one of those fucking cases, man.
Like, dude, you shouldn't cook for adults, much less children. Like these kids would never eat in your house. But the whole children being hungry thing, it's I alluded to this earlier. People think that a conspiracy against you is like a grand thing that involves like all these levels of government and like some big motivating thing. But it really is as simple as one person doesn't like you enough to just do their job poorly. and you're fucked over. It's a half truth that gets told. It's one lie, one
Nick, you would know about half truths, wouldn't you? That's been your entire career.
Place that can tip things into motion that you then are paying
even more irony, even more rules for thee but not for me. Again, even assuming that what Nick is saying is the truth here, isn't it funny coming from this idiot who made a career out of doing this bullshit? Again, it's so funny because he's acting as if he's never done that himself. He does it all the fucking time. What do you mean? He does it all the time. Oh my fucking god. So fucking shameless.
To fight. And it's unreal how it happens. And like I said, thank God, all of it's recorded.
So when it comes out,
it's all fucking recorded.
I guess.
And I have all the recordings.
It's just
not the right time to do any of this. I have a court case that I have to do.
Nick's gonna own everybody, okay? That's what Nick is claiming. He's gonna just fucking own everybody. He's gonna destroy so we're gonna have to wait, chat. We're gonna have to wait and see if that happens, you know? How many of you guys are feeling like Nick's gonna get the W on that? I don't know. Will he surprise us? I don't know. Shout out to the 100+ of you in chat, by the way. Make sure you click that one button. Give a like to this stream. All right, we got over 100 of you here. We got 40 likes. Appreciate that. We can get a little higher. Don't worry. All it takes is just clicking that one button. Just clicking a button. It's as simple as that. All right? Even a crack addict like Nick Rekieta can do it. So let's go ahead and hit those likes, ladies and gentlemen. Literally hundreds of people were saying Nick was a swinger on coke, and they were right on the money. Yeah. Nick and this dude are like Danny DeVito and Arnold movie twins, except all the bad G's went to both guys. You Porsche just don't get it. Sure, Nick. Tell yourself that. Dude, rich kid, never worked a day in his life, brags about money.
Guys, I spent more on food last year than most people on Kiwi Farms make. And
yeah, the trust fund baby, or the one that got the silver spoon in his mouth, never had to work for shit. I never read about myself until I do. Yeah, pretty much. Most people with kids feed the kids with the food they buy. It's more than just having food in the kitchen. Juju describing both himself and Rekieta perfectly within the first 2 minutes is incredible. Juju is Diddler Dax, by the way. I'm sure that's another fancy name people have given them. Not a single locals gift was delivered that day. He will write a book, sure. Where's the first book? Pesky kids got in the way. 1 minute and 16. Nick always implies the Kiwi Farms is a single entity. He can't start saying, well, I said some. Shut the fuck up, dude. He describes the farms as a singular entity, that the final boss of his life for some reason. Nick's midlife crisis. According to his own kids, he doesn't. That's another true thing. He sounds like every delusional narcissist. I can't wait to see his hearing and watch the judge laugh him out of the courtroom. We're really stretching the definition of famous now, I guess. It's a hell of a thing balldoing is a man. Snort away everything he was. Snort away everything he ever will be. It is a reference to Manny. Anyone know where Mandy went off to? He blocked me. I wonder if he's enjoying all of this. I guess myopia is Nick's new favorite word, up there with weird and funny. Remember, super chatters, for Nick, your money goes towards Coke and not Hamburger Helper for the kids. There you go. Amazing. Pretty good clip, I have to say. Very funny. Greasy Dax and Nick. Okay, let's see what's going on with Drexel, actually. Alright, so this one kind of interests me because I want to know where do you stand with Drexel? Alright. Where is our good old friend Nick and Drexel's relationship at? Once the most inseparable friends, right? Nick went to bat for Drex and shit. Short TLDR on Drex. From what I know, from what I've seen, apparently he is with a woman, and the woman had a daughter, right? An underage child, and I think she was literally like 10 or something, or I don't know. Point is, Drex would take this woman and this child to Disneyland and shit, do family shit. Apparently, Drex broke up with this woman, or the woman and them broke up. Later on, when the child was now of age, she wanted Drex to be the BDSM person for her. And Drexel was cool with that. The reason people find that to be kind of groomerish and weird is because Drexel knew this woman, or whatever, 18-year-old, or whatever, the ages always fucking change, since they were a kid. So to some people, they find that to be a little fucking weird. Nick defended that. He defended that, and that's why he started getting, I believe, again, and correct me if I'm wrong, in a bad relationship with the farms, or Josh or whatever, because he was trying to be like,
Josh, you got things wrong on your forum about Drex. Okay, Josh?
And it's like, he's trying to make Josh take something off of the forum and shit, even though Nick wants to say he didn't. It was heavily implied and pushed that he wanted it to. But again, Nick was covering up for his buddy and doing like that, again, shamelessly. It just doesn't matter. It just kind of goes to show you, again, anything Nick says that he pretends to dislike, take it with like a huge grain of salt, because chances is he's defended it already. So if Nick says he hates pedos, take that with a grain of salt. Chances are he's defended it before. All right. So again, this guy, just a fucking swindler, a liar. It's been all documented anyway on Kiwifarms. Hell, you can document it yourself. You could probably find this contradiction by just going to this channel and watching the clips. Or you can go to Rekieta's own Twitter and find out the contradictions in real time if you really want to do something. It's not really that difficult, to be honest. But let's see what's going on with Drexel and Nick.
Frederick Little says, hope Drex can come back soon on a show. Well, Drex has to stop being retarded if he wants to come back on the show.
Oh, really?
He decided somewhere that I lied to him about something that is nebulous and will not talk to me, apparently.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like, dude, so I don't even know what he thinks I lied to him about. Not sure, but it's like, okay, well, all right.
Now he's just like in his emotions. It's too much.
Guess.
Though.
I don't know.
It's too much. Like you're really kind of put on the spot being your friend during all this. It's too much. Maybe afterwards he'll come around.
We'll see. I don't know. It's like, I wish he'd just if he just talked to me, I could probably clear up whatever he thinks. I get it. I get it. If he thinks that.
Yeah, remember, Nick never lies, and he's never done anything wrong. Like, again, it's almost like he's like, well, I don't know what I did. I can tell. Like, it's whatever. Whatever, Nick. If your childhood friend stopped talking to you in your 40s, you fucked up. Nick's like, dude, if he can't take me lying to you constantly, I guess his friendship is over. If he just talked to me, I could try and manipulate him into being my friend again. I mean, that's pretty much what Nick's saying, if we're being real here. Nick just doesn't know which lie specifically Drex has a problem. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with pathological liars, right? You would be confused, right? Which lie? Oh, shit. Which lie did I fucking specifically tell Drexel? Because I lie to him all the time anyway. All right. Drex is upset that Nick shared Kayla with other men. Nick promised Drex that Kayla only had one bull. Kayla is Lady Rackets, by the way. Nick's wife on paper. Everybody else's wife everywhere else. We got, I'm sure that if Drex searched his feelings, he'd come to the conclusion that Nick didn't technically lie to him, that he was only misled implicitly. Drex told Nick he wasn't really from the hood, and it broke Nick's heart. Drex escaping the Balldo bunker is not what I expected. I don't even know what he thinks I lied to him about. Gaslighting doesn't get more obvious than this. So now all Nick has is MrSEN. Don't forget Ralph. All this talk about the kids need to be protected when Ralph straight up docks them. Yeah, that's another thing, right? Ralph. Sometimes that's why I like reading the comments sometimes, though, because that is something, right? Didn't Ralph straight up dox them? Why are you cool with Ralph? He fucking doxed your kids, right? So what the fuck, bro? What is happening? What is this shit? This is what I mean. If Nick Rekieta Law says he doesn't like something, take that with a grain of salt, because either he's cool with somebody that's done it or he's defended it. Again, if Rekieta says he's not cool with doxing kids, take that with a grain of salt, because chances are he's friends with somebody that doxes kids, or he's defended doxing kids in the past. That is what Rekieta does. This is, again, proof of it. He was just on a stream with Ralph, being buddy-buddy with him when Ralph fucking doxes kids. Like, what the fuck? I don't know why. I'm sure that's another lie. Maybe it was legal possession, the inebriation, the swinging, and the child endangerment. He probably thinks you lied about a lot of things. Drex woke up from the balldo coma and Nick is mad. It's so funny and weird that Drex thought Crackett's lied about something. Oh boy, these comments are kind of funny. Not gonna lie. Good shit. Good stuff. I like that. With respect to the search warrant, I present a Defense Exhibit 1, a list of articles discussing 45 versus 9mm and a 1911 versus Glock, etc. They might object, but that's all common knowledge, so low. Kata just says whatever he wants, and I'm guessing a hard 90% of that is projection, as the dude thinks projecting everything is a great idea. Isn't it amazing how much he does? Yeah, it is. It really is. Something I don't hear people talk about much is when Drex and another big black guy were on Nick's show talking about going together to be the bulls for white couples. Not a coincidence. There's absolutely no reason for him to blast his BFF publicly like this. True. Oh, hey, you're that one commenter on that thing that I just read. Okay, cool. That was a good comment, buddy. That was a good one. Okay, so we got a couple other clips right here. Got the bad lawyers, the CPS incompetence, and we got the 9-year-old testing positive for cocaine. Okay. We got Nick saying don't consent to a search. Got Nick Rekieta's drug test compliance, ignoring bad legal advice. Then we got the hearing and shit. And we got Null's segment where he says Rekieta doesn't know the law. Apparently Sean is getting his pound of flesh too. Got that over here. Potentially criminal. All right. Well, I want to check this one out. Okay, what is this about? What is Nick's what is this? It's Nick saying that the 9-year-old testing positive for cocaine is an impossible result. All right, let's check that one out then. Right here.
Slimo Jones says there's whining in the background. I think one of your kids are crying because they're starving or want more cocaine. The stuff that got you here to begin with.
Guys, the kids were never on cocaine. That's like if that's not what you get from this, the state saying, "Oh yeah, you could have your kid back," then you are a fucking retard. Which I've been telling you you're a retard from the beginning, but I was willing to let this work out before I say, if you don't get it now, that there was never any issue, you're just straight up fucking retarded.
If you guys had if you guys don't realize that if the state had any inkling that we had given a child cocaine, that we would be charged with felony child abuse. Like
you'd be dead.
The kids would not be around. That would not be a thing. Like not just not be around. Like we may not be out of jail until our hearing or until our like trial. Like that's an extremely serious crime.
Yeah.
The problem was, I mean, hell, one of the state workers flat out said they don't believe that the child had actually ingested anything. They brought up environmental exposure. I haven't had an opportunity. That was actually my big problem with the whole thing was that that test was dropped on us less than 24 hours before our hearing. We had no opportunity to hire an expert. The state didn't have an expert. And we didn't have, that was the point of my entire objection was all I wanted was an objection to the admission of any discussion about the test until we could have it reviewed.
Yeah.
Or a continuance so that we could have it reviewed. Because when the state told us about the test, I fucking lost my mind.
Yeah.
I said, that's impossible. That's fucking impossible. And by the way, the state worker tried to lie to us and said that false positives on hair follicle tests are impossible. They said they cannot produce a false positive. That's the state, ladies and gentlemen.
Really? What if you misread the document right now? What about that?
That's the state.
False positive.
People ask, well, why didn't you get the child retested? We tried. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah, of course not. Once they get what they need, they're done.
Yeah. Actually, the exact quote was the county is not interested in pursuing a second test.
Yeah.
That was because I said that's impossible. There's no fucking way that test is accurate. Not a chance. But it was amazing. The whole thing has been so fucking insane. The last thing I was saying, I don't know where I got cut off, but the last thing I was saying was the fail rate on hair follicle tests for cocaine is 35%. Across all ages and populations. Is actually higher amongst kids. False positives, false negatives. It's not a reliable test. And there's tons of information as to it not being reliable. My biggest problem with it was that we never got to fight it at all. But hey, why didn't we get to fight it? Because the government was happy with it just being out there.
Yeah, I don't. I seem to remember something in California where they kicked it out. They took it out of rotation in LA because it's racist. Because the test is racist against black people.
Horrifically racist.
It actually is. It's like,
yes,
if you test a black guy and a white guy who do the same amount of cocaine in their hair, the black guys will test way higher. So they had to take it out. They should take it out everywhere. It's totally bullshit. The hair shit.
A black person tests on average 4.5 times higher levels than a blonde person when the exact same amount of cocaine is ingested in controlled tests. So if people don't know how they do this, when they do controlled cocaine testing, they actually do intravenous administration of cocaine to make sure that the amounts are stable. They use medical grade cocaine that they get from specific laboratories. This is all figured in because they have different types of cocaine testing. I've had to read a lot of cocaine testing, shockingly. They do different types of it, though. They have some where it's self-reported, like, hey, I use this much cocaine, blah, 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 blah. But when they do the scientific testing on the hair follicle studies, they use a specific grade of cocaine that they get from specific government resources, and then they inject it so that it's injected at a consistent rate, consistent with people. And people may not realize this, but the measurements of cocaine in tests are consistent amongst body sizes as well, because it's the weight of cocaine present per weight of the hair, not weight of the person. So when you have like some tests like blood alcohol and shit, it really is heavily dependent on the size of the person. A bigger person can have more alcohol in their blood, and it's a percentage. But on cocaine, it's the weight of the hair. It's 1.5 grams of hair. No matter who it is, they use the same amount of hair to do the test. So when they do picograms per milligram, it's per milligram of hair that they use. But they're unreliable tests entirely. And so when we found out about it, the first thing we wanted that test redone, because there was no fucking way.
They should have wanted it redone. Like, you can't be a responsible adult and say, oh, one of these kids tested positive in the hair. Like, let's just run it again and see. That's probably obviously bullshit.
Oh, and lots of people make a big deal about some metabolite. The metabolite that was found, because people are like, oh, there's a metabolite. It's actually called benzocagnine. Benzocagnine. It's a weirdly pronounced thing. And it's the one metabolite of cocaine that actually is created outside of human bodies. It's a cocaine metabolizes outside of human bodies and into this metabolite. It's pretty fucking interesting because there are other metabolites. There's coethyl adaline or something, which is like cocaine and alcohol mix. And then there's neurococaine, which is a different metabolite. None of those were found on the tests. It was only the one test where the sole metabolite that was found was the metabolite that occurs outside of the human body.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. It's not like I've read 40 fucking scientific papers on it now.
He's doing his research,
You
Chad.
should test the cops.
Oh, if you hair follicle test cops, all cops will test. Any cops that do drug work will test positive for several drugs on a hair follicle test.
Yeah. So what are we doing? Are we testing money? Are we testing cops or not? Like, it's such a stupid test.
An honest doubter says, could they have blank your kids while they had them? Dose them, I guess. Dose them. They have a syringe there. Again, I'm not going to say
what the.
You don't have to dose air. You just fuck up.
What the fuck?
Let's just say, it seems that there is actually an explanation, and that explanation will be raised at the appropriate time. The appropriate time is not on the internet right now, but let's just say that has kind of come into the picture.
Oh,
which is nice to finally fucking find out.
Okay, well, that's what the nose claims. So let's see what the commenters have to say about this chat. Say, actually, you know what? I've been neglecting my chat. What do you guys have to say? Stick really the only person who will stream with him now? I guess there is Barnes and there's there's Dick, Barnes. I think there was some other random person. I think he went on Chrissy Myers. I don't know what other Baldo. Kumalot. Kumalot will have him on his show probably because Kumalot made he made that whole, well, Rekieta just got a W and shit. I shit you not. He made an entire fucking stream where he said Rekieta got a W, and he just, I mean, essentially he did like a craftier version of like, he owned the A-logs and shit. All right, like that's basically what he did. So again, it is what it is, you know. Let's see here. Let's watch, see some of the comments here. His knowledge of cocaine and medical cocaine speaks volumes about him. Dick's fake laugh is as fake as Nick's sobriety. It looks like Nick had bruises on his forehead from hitting himself again. The explanation: I was smoking crack with my kid. Said I hate Diddler Dax. Sure, a lot of people do. I love how they just laugh about this. Child abuse is sickening, and Nick should not have access to those kids. Who knows what else they've done to them. Let's first say cringe take. He homeschooled them for one, plus subjects them to having a dad with high-pitched voice. That is true, too. Oh, and don't forget the cross-dressing. Nick loves to cross-dress for money, for whatever reason. I don't know why. Homeschooling isn't objectively good. However, if your homeschool teacher is so bad, the church group said he's not allowed around his kids anymore. It makes it a little questionable, doesn't it? Nick can't even pronounce the metabolite, and he is trying to come off as an expert. Yeah, good. The guy that was given everything, by the way. Yeah. CPS sends kids into dangerous situations all the time. That proves nothing. Wiggle crackets. There's one judge you can't lie to. So where's the hair follicle test where the kid comes back negative for cocaine if it's impossible? Guys, it's that... Guys, it's the test that's the problem, not the cocaine addict. It always seems like he deflects all the fucking time. Like, again, his bad behavior is everybody else's fault, not Nick's, right? I don't know if I've ever had, if I've ever even seen a clip where Nick actually takes accountability for anything. Like, I mean, like, legitimately, right? Not to sound gay or anything, right? Like, the whole, oh, we gotta take accountability, homie. But, like, really, has he ever taken accountability for anything? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm glad that the Mad at the Internet, apparently 5 hours ago, we got a Maddie archive, Mad at the Internet archive. So I'm assuming Josh went over it. We're gonna go over that as well. We'll go into that. So here's what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna read a couple more comments. We're gonna do the other segments real quick, and then we're gonna go and spend the majority of the rest on the Mad at the Internet, because even like the other segments, like the Nux shit, I'm gonna make videos on that too. The Mr. Beast shit, I'll make videos on that too, more digestible and shit. But like I just enjoy shitting on Rekieta too much, and the pure delusions that come out of this guy, it's just fucking, it's just funny. Bro, as Nick was getting arrested, he told everyone not to believe anything they hear about the kids. Nick is full of beans. Nobody should believe him on anything. Nick could hire private testing if he wanted to disprove it. The fail rate is 35% is bull. It's the most reliable of the tests. He has never lied. Okay. That one's a good one. Yeah, you're right. Nick has never lied. Quite possibly, actually, if you feed a child coke on a regular basis, yes, his kid tested positive for cocaine. There were piles of cocaine in the house. If he didn't give it to them, was he smoking it? Denying the test is laughable. Did his kids test high because they're... When did he first get the hedonism? If Nick ever plays poker with a drink, everyone will know he's lying when he takes a sip. Blatant tell. Rackets wanted it redone because the coke could or would be out of his child's system by that point. Interesting. Nick has a super good explanation, but just trust him, bro. You can't hear it, but trust the plan. 2 more weeks. Nausean. Did a bunch more reading on hair tests for cocaine. It doesn't false positive. It under indicates severely. Maybe why only 1 kid tested positive? Said. In case it needs to be said, let me break it down. Let me break down Nick's gaslighting. CPS agents working with Nick are absolutely certain his daughter took coke. Unfortunately, CPS has their hands tied. They don't judge the guilt of the parents. They defer to the courts to decide intent and guilt. Until the police publicly charge Nick or Kayla, that's our wife, Lady Rackets, with criminal intent or negligence related to supplying coke to their daughter, CPS can't do much. Only hold the children for a few weeks to months. The police are still building a case, so not all the charges are public yet. To be clear, Nick is not even telling half-truths here. He is very much lying. It is proven he supplied coke directly or indirectly to his daughter, and his children were only released back on the condition of the random CPS visits to check on the condition of the children. Not to mention, the decision in his criminal case could find Nick guilty of criminal child abuse and neglect if that happens. CPS has grounds to take his child indefinitely. Also, blah, 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 blah is produced in the liver, not metabolite. I'm sorry. Benzoyl, I can't pronounce this shit, okay? I'm not even gonna pretend like I can pronounce these words like Nick, okay? Fuck no. Alright, I'm a fucking... I'm not fancy like that, bro. So there it is. Alright. Good stuff in the comments. I gotta find this Maddie thing and archive it. And thank fucking God. Okay. All right, so we got the segment. We're good to go, pal. All right, we got the segment. We got Josh's segment. That's gonna be good. I'm gonna be interested in this. We're gonna be looking into that, chat. All right. We're gonna take a really quick break though. All right, we're gonna go ahead. Did he really just imply he's going to allege the cops, allege the CPS drug kids to frame at the appropriate time? Unreliable bullshit. If it's showing any amount of cocaine, then it means they ingested cocaine. There Nick was trying to tend to his sick 9-year-old like a responsible parent and accidentally dumped the state's cocaine into the vaporizers instead of Vicks. Damn, that's sick. The balldo family. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Let me get a second. Person was a pedo based off of like hearsay or whatever, or in his words, because a friend, an internet friend, told him that it happened. So then Nux wanted to just say it, right? That this guy is a pedo based off of that. So the thing with that though is, what happens when Nux gets called a pedo because he wants to collaborate with fucking Shadman or anything of that? Well, then Nux freaks the fuck out. He starts, deflecting, being a victim, crying. He does all this shit or whatever, right? So that was the main thing. It's like, when it happens to Nux, everybody has to treat Nux like a victim. He victimizes himself. He deflects. He compares himself to Quite for some reason to try to get sympathy. It's really stupid gay shit or whatever. And then we got like the obvious like Mutahar. And to be honest, Tom kind of did this as well. He fucked with Nux Taku up until it wasn't convenient. It's the typical shit. Right? Because this motherfucker, like, I think this says it enough in its own. Commentary's biggest freak has been hiding in plain sight. Yeah, because now it's not convenient to be cool with Nux. Because now Nux is being kind of exposed for shit he's been doing in the open for years. This is kind of like the issue I have with the E-Celeb crowd, right? And especially these big corporate ones, right? I'm talking about the Toms, the Dioreos, the Mudas, the Nux, right? Those big echelons up there with their secret little group chats that we saw what they do there, you know? This is the problem I have, right? They have seen Nux Taku's content. They know what it's about. And even if you want to do plausible deniability for that, I'm sure if you follow him on Twitter, you're gonna see some of the sus shit, some of the weird shit he's been pushing out there. That's why when I see fucking Mutahar follow Reb Says Disu, I'm like, how are you, like, how does that work? You said, okay, so the guy that, you know, Muta considers Ollie to be animated CP, correct? Why the hell are you following the guy that basically defends it, right? It doesn't make sense. Not to mention, Reb sexualizes his character all the time, right? And he calls it like a short stack, I think, or at least people are. So it doesn't make sense for Mutahar, the guy that complains about that shit, to follow Reb in any context. It just doesn't. The fuck? So these dipshits, too, they were on the Nux Taku train or whatever. Now it's not so convenient to be on the Nux Taku train, right? I guess it's because he peaked, or maybe people are just like, they're like waking up to the anime culture being weird to them and shit, and it's not the craze anymore, right? So Nux, you know, gets called out for trying to collaborate with Shadman. Then Nux lies and says, oh, a lot of my collabs are me shitting on this person, right? It would be like an interview with EDP or whatever, right? Turns out that's not really the case, because if you even look at some of Nux Taku's collaborations with controversial figures, they're all positive. None of them are ever negative. Nux has never had, the only exception would be, I guess, Boogie Current Day, but that's not applicable because that wasn't your past, like, you didn't collaborate with Boogie. You didn't ask to collaborate with Boogie. You kind of just trashed them, I think, because everybody else was doing it. This is based off your, like, your past. So your past behavior is that any controversial person, anybody you collabed with, you were cool with them. You ended the conversation amicably on good terms. There's no way in fuck you're going to convince anybody that you were against Shadman in any way or you wanted to take him down. Okay? Because listen, dude, if you wanted to do that, supposedly, you would have just done to him what you did to Reb. Remember Reb, the bestie, Reb Says Disu, that you wanted to collaborate with? Nux, you remember that dipshit? You remember that? Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Right? You remember how you said he liked kids and shit because he fucking called you out and shit and made you look like a dipshit to, like, your own audience? Just fucking hilarious in itself, too. Nux wants to be that cool guy so fucking badly, right? He wants to be Mutahar's nice little pet that he'll try to fucking kill his own audience. Nux, you know what kind of audience you've cultivated throughout your career on YouTube. Okay, we know, so this is a really asinine move. But if you're gonna go ahead and call Reb a pedo, like just blatantly on a video because you want to, you should have kept that same energy for Shad. Because here's the thing that Shadman did, okay? Shadman drew a fucking realistic depiction of Keemstar's underage daughter for the world. And you didn't see anything wrong with that. Or you allegedly didn't hear about. Allegedly. Nux wants to be like, oh, trust me. Just like Rekieta allegedly doesn't hear about a lot of things. Nux wants to be like, oh, I didn't hear about that, homie. I just wanted to collaborate with. And if you see the context of the interaction in which they're like trying to collab, or like rather the Shadman the pedo turns him down. That's how fucked. Nux gets bodied by a fucking pedophile. So it's really fucking funny. This guy is a fucking clown. I can't believe he's gotten away. This is another guy that's gotten away with shit for so long, especially from Mutahar. I kind of like, I wonder why everybody was so uptight about Muta and what the big hypocrisy angle is. If you really explore it, it's pretty fucking obvious. Fucking Nux has fucked with this shit or whatever for years. Muta fucking knows about all this shit and doesn't give a fuck. He just hides. He essentially pulls the Mr. Beast. He fucking, keeps his friend around even though he does questionable shit. Or is cultivated an audience based off of what he would say is animated CP. So overall, everybody's kind of a dipshit. Now Tom is like, oh, I can't fucks with this guy even though I was before. Dioriel probably doing the same shit. Nux got a big expose on him as well. I want to see this one, though, for the purposes of this. I want to see the Mutahar interaction. So Mutahar demands answers from Nux Taku on the disturbing new realizations. So what? Okay, real quick, I want to know what are these amazing realizations that you're only discovering now, right? Apparently, Muda got his start in the creepypasta community, seen plenty of degenerate stuff. You know, but now all of a sudden, which is probably why he's cool with Nux. It was cool with Nux in the first place. But apparently, there's some big thing now, and we're gonna see like what it is. I don't think I want to play the entire 28 minutes because I kind of want to get back to mad at the internet. We're gonna see what a little bit of this is, and we'll see what we can stomach, and let's go from there.
That you're doing to distract from the issue, Mutar. Let's cut to the fucking chase here, okay? You said point A on my stream, okay, which gave one impression, and then you said point B. Your partner came into my chat and said the reason the last episode wasn't released was because of the Shadman stuff. Is that true?
I have to confront her on why she said that, actually, because...
Do you feel that Nux Taku is honestly representing himself in all of this? To you?
On that, no. I mean, I'm looking at that character. I don't know if that's Loli or whatever.
Bro, you gotta work on your audio sync, unless you're meaning for the music to come off higher than whatever is being said. But apparently this is a new realization. The context of this, I actually made a video. So the context of this entire thing, Mutahar, when asked point blank about whether or not he canceled his podcast based off of fucking Nux's affiliation with Shad or wanting to do a collaboration with Shad, he pretty much said yes. And then, when Nux started crying to him, he backtracked and made a segment for Nux. And then, that in turn made this guy over here, this British man, Chod Logic, look like shit. Because it looked like he was pushing out fake news or whatever. So that's why this man is a little peeved, I would say, in Muda, and is like kind of like going in on him, sort of, if you want to call it that. And I'm kind of curious, what is Muda gonna do?
All right. You guys have got me all relaxed.
Chud feels better now. Chud feels better.
Mutahar, you lying fucking scumbag. What is your problem, dude? Why did you throw me under the bus for some dude that's got lolly in his video? What is your problem?
Hello?
Okay, well that's another good. Okay, so the more irony and hypocrisy on Nux Taku. So Nux says that Lolly's Rekieta's, right? What the fuck was he doing with all the lewd lolly art on his thumbnails for so long, right? And he fucking specifically chose that art style for his thumbnails for so fucking long. Then, he has that take on, that's like isolating his audience essentially. And then he goes at Reb. Reb says, wait, what's up guys? Reb here. And then he starts changing all his thumbnails to the auto-generated ones. And he gets rid of all this. But by then, you know how the internet works. By then, they all screen capped all the shit that Nux was changing in real time. So it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, Muda, like not only do you follow Reb says Disu, right? Number one, all right? The defender, let's be honest, Reb like defends that shit to the ends of the earth, or at least makes sense of it, tries to make sense of it or whatever. So why the fuck is Mutahar following him? Number one, all right? You're gonna be exposed to that shit at some point. Right? If you're following Reb. Alright? Number one. Number two, Muda. You're gonna pretend that you didn't know Nux fucked with this shit. You're gonna pretend you didn't know about Nux's content, about what his target audience is, what he's been going ahead and flaunting to the thumbnail gods. You're gonna pretend? Bro, like, the fuck? I think Muda is a huge hypocrite. I don't think this is gonna catch any, like, this is not going to spread like wildfire or anything. Like, people will just default to Mutahar is smart and Mutahar is a nice guy. And then they'll forget about his, the hypocrisy thing or whatever. But at the same time, I mean, it's a fair thing, right? It is like, Muda, come on, bro. Like, you're just covering for this guy, or you're being a Rekieta. You're pretending not to know. You're pretending to be aloof and unaware of the situation or whatever.
Low taper
faded. Up a little bit.
By any chance?
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay, I called you a lot of things, but we're going to put that to one side. And I'm just going to ask, what was the reason for this confusion, which made me look kind of retarded over the podcast?
Why the podcast was shutting down?
Yeah.
So I remember the time we were talking, you brought up the Nux Shadman stuff, which was a thing we looked at, just because you know that list came out on YouTube Drama about all the people connected to Shadman.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked to Nux briefly about it too. We asked what was the connection, and he just told me that it was like him fucking interviewing fucking Shadman or asking for an interview, like one of these ironic things that he told me. Which even at the time we were still looking in, and I got in touch with like a.
What you're gonna see is Mutahar run damage control for his friend until he can't no more. I'm just giving you a spoiler alert right now.
Former editor way after we talked, and it did apparently seem like it was just him trying to reach out to Meme or whatever, kind of like, you know, the Oompaville interview or whatever he explained to me when it came to Andrew Tate. The reason why I couldn't really discuss his podcast stuff with you so candidly is at the time, if you hadn't noticed, I don't know how much you watched the podcast, but one of the co-hosts, Oompaville, wasn't really showing up to the show. And it was at the time, a week before we were out in Texas filming, we had basically severed our ties, me and Oompaville, with our management company, who also owned the podcast. So
thank
okay,
God.
I know that.
No,
okay,
yes.
okay.
Let me just finish explaining the one thing.
Okay.
So when we severed our ties, right, it was unfortunately at the same time as the Shadman stuff. So all of the stuff we were looking into, but the primary reason why we had severed it is because the management team that we were working with, Nano Zebra at the time, also owned the production.
You know, I think Mutahar joins the list of people. And you know, thing is, I've been on the internet since I was a minor. I've been a YouTuber since I've been a minor, right? So I've gathered this knowledge, this fucking intellectual shitty knowledge of how these sleazeballs works, all right? And just in general shit, right? And I think I've come to a decent deduction on all this. I think it's kind of clicking, all right? If you're gonna complain about Lolly, you probably shouldn't have, one, a Lolly controversy, right? Lyrics. Two, you shouldn't have whatchamacallit, a Lolly friend. Muta, Lily. I think those are the two fair things, right? All right. I think that's it, right? Like when you scream to the heavens that you hate Lolly, right? Just keep in mind two things. One, do I have a Lolly controversy? The answer is yes. Probably shouldn't be talking to the high heavens. I know it's hard to resist, right? I know it's hard to resist to do it. But that's just the way it is. Otherwise, you're going to look retarded by the end of it. All right? Then the second question you need to ask yourself, do I have a friend that's dabbled with Lolly or has Lolly around him? Muta, do you? Oh, yeah, that one guy, Nux Taku, who frequently fucks with that shit no matter what the cope wants to be. If you're gonna get this artwork, use it for your thumbnail, and then we haven't even gotten into his actual content over the past few years that Muta is aware of, that Muta's not gonna try to fucking play people and act like he's not, then yeah, you probably shouldn't be being negative about it at that point. I think that's a fair realization that I've made, right? And I think that it should be applicable to everybody else. Everybody should, you know, understand. You could still dislike it. You can still not agree with it. But again, it's internet culture, man. As soon as you start screaming to the high heavens, motherfuckers are going to pull something out. It's like Jake the Viking with the fucking Mr. Beast thing, right? Jake the Viking, right, hates Mr. Beast for harboring a pedo. Meanwhile, Jake the Viking defending his registered sex offender brother-in-law, and he blames the 11-year-old for his adult brother-in-law's actions. Again, why do you hate Mr. Beast, Jake the Viking? Why? Again? Because of Ava, Chris bullshit Tyson? Oh, but you have a registered sex offender as a brother, right? That's cool, right, Jake? Right, Jake the Viking? I think I've become more wise over the years, okay? I'm understanding things. I'm also becoming a little more humble. I'm becoming a little more, it's the face turn, bro. It's the face turn. All right, I'm trying to be, new Sen is trying to be the good Sen. All right, while still being a fucking hard ass. I will fight for the rights of, you know, essentially, if there's a jackass like Rekieta being a bad fade piece of shit, to like a group of people that he praised for over 5 years, well, yeah, I'll talk about it. I don't care. I'm gonna call out Rekieta. Yeah, I'm not gonna not talk about it. I'm not gonna be silenced. Right? I mean that people have tried. I'm not gonna let it happen. Right? Because this needs to be said, bro. All right. But let's continue on a little bit. This is kind of funny now. This is kind of interesting hearing Mutahar backtrack and sweep. It is kind of interesting. I'm gonna let fucking Muta continue to do, I guess, the self sweep. All right, because that's kind of what it comes like. It feels like it's a self sweep of sorts. Belinda, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Appreciate that. And Belinda, thank you for joining the SENI squad. Appreciate that too. And let's fucking continue, bro. Continue. Muta's self sweep.
Rights to our podcast, which meant that as we severed our ties, me and Oompaville, we didn't really find it feasible to continue the podcast tie. So that's why it's winded down for a month or two. And plus, me and Oompaville also really decided that it was better to have a set in Texas and just start filming.
That's fine, but you said it was nothing to do with Nux Taku, which was totally different to what you said to me.
What do you mean? Nothing to do with Nux Taku? The podcast shutting down?
Yes.
Right, hold on, let me just mediate.
On my stream.
Obviously, neither party knows what's going on. Okay, on the stream with Chud, you gave the implication that the stuff that was happening with Shadman was part of the reason why the podcast was breaking up. Which ultimately, I think he even was included in one of the videos discussing this, like a clip from that stream. And then it was basically the correction that no, it was business stuff from behind the scenes. Now, obviously, if that stuff is happening and that's legitimate, and my understanding is that it is, that's maybe not on the top of your mind, but like the average viewer heard you say that and thought that like, oh, okay, Chud's like misreporting this. But like,
no, there was no like misreporting. I want to say that yes, when like the Shadman stuff came out, from like just a fucking relationship level, obviously we wanted to see if, one of our friends was like defending a Lolicon drawer or something. Now, going at his word, obviously he was going for an interview, and the interview I believe never happened. So there's no way to go off on if he's like a Shadman defender.
Okay, this is all rambling that you're doing to distract from the issue, Mutar. Let's cut to the fucking chase here, okay? You said point A on my stream, okay, which gave one impression, and then you said point B. Point A being the podcast is ending, and it was very strongly implied it was because of Nux Taku, and then there's this investigation you apparently need to do, and then later
no,
like...
there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and it was a stream. We got into it. I couldn't discuss this one business aspect at the time because we were severing ties. We had our contracts with the company.
Pro tip, Muta, maybe not say anything in general. That made me feel like I'm not at liberty to discuss that, or just be like, well, I don't feel like saying anything. I know you've turned things down before, so I don't know why this one. I don't know. It's almost like you had a knee-jerk reaction. Right? It's like, oh shit, Nux Taku, controversy, animated CP, Shadman, oh boy, better throw him under. Like, you see what this is? It is really, like, I said this once in one of my videos, it's almost kind of spineless from both Muta and Nux, to be honest. And it's not like I have anything personal against Mutahar. I don't have anything personal necessarily towards Nux, other than he's a fucking annoying hypocrite. It's fucking insane that he's just, like, I mean, I don't hate the guy, but it's just fucking crazy. All right, if it's like the fuck. Okay, that's the best reaction to it. Like the fuck. That I guess that's the best reaction. And for Muta, it's more of like a shake my head kind of thing, because it's like, what the fuck, bro? What is happening right now? Right?
This was not something that I could get into. And I believe even on the same podcast.
If we can't get into it, why'd you bring it up? Why'd you fucking say anything at all? You would be horrible if you signed an NDA. You would fucking... What?
It was like after whatever people clipped out, I did also mention that there were other big significant reasons.
Okay.
It wasn't just Nux.
Your partner came into my chat and said the reason the last episode wasn't released was because of the Shadman stuff. Is that true?
Wait, what did Jem say? It was because it wasn't because
Jem came into chat and gave a super chat and said that the reality of it was the last episode was not being released because of the Shadman stuff, but the restructuring was going to happen. How does that play into this?
I have to fucking confront her on why she said that, actually, because the way that it was discussed, like, she had brought it up to me is like, the whole, your clip was being played around, and it was like, oh man, is people believing that you were throwing Nux under the bus? And I'm like, no. Honestly, that last podcast episode wasn't even going to be coming out until we had, like, filmed it like a day or two before. This was all just stuff that was really happening fluid.
Okay. But you understand if things are happening fluid and conclusive statements are getting made, that's obviously going to cause...
Yeah, but I'm not the one making the conclusive statements. And even on your stream, I had mentioned that there was a million other things behind the reasons.
Okay,
yes,
that is total context. Yes, you mentioned it, but the focus was on about Nux Taku having this...
Commentary. You guys have not changed a bit. I love it. I especially love it when you all kill each other. Not like that. Not like that, YouTube. Cannibalize each other. There you go. And you guys cannibalize each other over, like, you know, stupid shit, or like because you can't slime out of one direction. I love it. It's great. Continue on, please. I heard Turkey Tom burned that Lyrics bridge, even though Tom had no issue with him like 3 months prior, right? I wonder what the fuck happened there. Even though fucking Turkey Tom, oh my god, Turkey Tom, you're a funny guy, bro. Mr. Grandstand himself. And I don't even hate Tom, but this dude over, ooh, Tom, you're a funny little guy, man. You're funny. Maybe a video to be made. Not that it would matter, because, you know, Tom's got that unmatched charisma. He's that cult of personality, bro. Yeah, bro. He's cool. He's a cool guy.
Connection with Shadman that colored the whole thing. And that was the focus of what you were saying to me. Was it not?
Okay, but that was brought up on a stream. I even mentioned that there were other things aside from that too.
Muda's getting defensive,
yes,
bro.
Did, but that was like a secondary.
Well. Muda's on the defense, bro.
On Twitter, that was you sweeping for Nux Taku. It's
Muda.
so obvious, dude. It's so obvious. The energy changed of what you were saying.
I wasn't sweeping for him. I looked into the situation. At the time, it showed up on YouTube Drama. Again, this is all stuff that was happening super duper fluidly. I had no idea the extent of the thing. I asked him pretty much, hey, what was this interview about? It was supposed to be a joke and a meme. Even one of his former...
This is like Kumalat asking Nick Rekieta for something and then getting an answer from Nick, which is the equivalent of a trust me, bro. And then Kumalat just blatantly believing it. This is retarded, bro. This is so stupid. Like, Muda, what the fuck are you actually doing? What is this shit? Oh, well, you know, I asked my friend that I have a bias towards because I like him because he's my friend, you know, and he told me that. It's like, dude, just from experiences, your friends will straight up fucking lie to you, okay? I don't want to be the Grim Reaper or the Pessimism Squad or anything like that, or the fucking Doomer Pill. But from personal, your friends will lie to you. My old internet friends lied about somebody they were defending being a literal fucking pedophile. They told me Kiwifarms is lying. Kiwifarms is nonsense. This, and that. Josh Munoz, his fat wife, maybe still fat wife, Kayla, you know, Andrew Asaf, all those motherfuckers. John, baby girl, I got your Facebook too. I know. I just don't. Your name is so complicated. It's annoying. But you fucking idiots, right? The ones that lied to me about Connor McDonald and shit. And point is, Muda, your friend, your internet friend at the time will lie to your face. Okay? It's happened to me from experience, bro. You can't believe it. I half understand. But yeah, you're like what? You're like 10 years older than me. You gotta smarten up, bro. You have more power as well. You're a bigger influencer. You can't be getting tricked like this, bro. You can't be getting fucked like this, all right?
Editors came up to me and basically said, yeah, this was just supposed to be like a meme edit. And that's pretty much where I let it at because I had no idea what to go on forward for it. Now, at the time, could I have discussed exactly why this podcast was shutting down? No, we wanted to end it amicably with our production company, and we didn't want it to make it look like we were throwing anybody under the bus. Or there was some, if I had come out and said, yeah, I'm shutting out ties because of bad relationships with like Nano Zebra, people would think that, oh, maybe we got screwed monetarily. It wasn't even the case. They just owned the production.
Okay, Muda's just rambling.
But this is from a larger statement. I can send you the transcript that someone's kindly said to me. It's not happening. The podcast is done. I say, dude, this is hard because obviously, you know, people want, and you say the podcast is done. Yeah, the podcast is done now. I say, wait, what? You say, yeah, the podcast is over. We're not filming. We are not filming the last episode now. I ask you if you're serious. You say, yeah, we're not doing the podcast anymore. I say, why? You say, we're supposed to film on Tuesday. Well, there's a couple of reasons for it. A lot of that was obviously the Shad stuff too.
Yeah, a lot of it is the chat stuff as well, because at the time the YouTube
he's
drama list
fumbling.
came out,
He's fumbling.
that was just one of the things we were looking at with Nux Taku.
That is a more conclusive.
And again, here's the thing, right? I don't hate Mutahar. I've said, look, on the surface level, he seems like a nice guy. His wife seems like a nice person. They seem like a nice group of people. But when you see something so blatant and you don't have, listen, if you're like me, you don't have a network connection, you have no desire to have a network connection, and you're not entranced by the clout, right? Then you can call shit like it is, right? You can call shit like a viewer yourself. And this is bullshit. This is pure bullshit. It's dumb. It is Mutahar fumbling. You know, it really is. And I'm not being hard on him. I'm not saying, yo, fuck you. Like, I'm not going at him like I would a Rekieta. Because I just think he's just fumbling and he fucked up and he got caught and he was just, again, it's one of those things where you fall into the trap of the internet friend thing, but it's like, dude, you can't be screaming to the heavens that you dislike one thing if your friend is fucking with it, all right? You just can't.
It's a statement that you're giving it.
Take notes, Lily.
Credit for, and now you're trying to claim that afterwards you made another statement to clarify when you gave a conclusive statement on my show.
I followed it up on Twitter literally like the day after the fucking clips was going out by that one scene.
Yeah, and it was like 180 to what you'd said on my stream. And so obviously people thought...
Dude, because on your stream, you brought up the Nux Taku stuff, and it kind of hits me. Like, I can't obviously cover the other, like, business-related side of it. And yes, for that, I do really apologize, because I understand how I made you look fucking terrible in that situation. I'm just asking to look at it from my perspective as somebody that's thrown into the fucking den right there while I'm dealing with a bunch of stuff behind the scenes.
Okay, but
that's about it. Like, I'm sorry that I fucking made you look terrible. I really am.
So would you say that you, like... We placating the chat, I guess, is the question. Like, the chat's saying a bunch of stuff where you're just like, yeah, we're not doing the podcast. And, you know, the Shadman stuff is a pretty big deal, too.
I don't even have the chat open, so I don't know what I'm placating. Is it right
now? No, not right now. I'm saying when you said that at the time. Because obviously, your position isn't that the Shadman stuff really had anything to do with why the podcast was ending. So when you said it just abruptly, is it possible you were just like, you saw the chat and the chat was saying stuff, and then you just said...
And like the thing is, people are saying that Nick the Oriole's sweeping. I mean, that's a very good point in itself, and that is very possibly what's happening. Because, I mean, to this fucking day, Nick is another one of these guys that fall to the whole, let's scream to the high heavens about how Lolly's bad. Okay, sure, cool. Who's that guy you're friends with? Is his name Lorix, by the way? Is that the guy? You know, the guy that there are multiple clips and recorded things where it shows that Lorix was actively looking for lolly content. It shows how Lorix lied about having any lewd lolly content that he was looking at. And then Nick the Oreo will just pretend, like Nick Rekieta and all the other people that love to play pretend. All right. No, wait, what? I was told it wasn't lolly. What do you mean? Huh? What? Again. And he gets away with it because nobody ever confronts him like this, because there's no need to at the moment. And Nick has like a lot of power, right? In that little circle, jerk. But it's like, it's another one of those instances, and you'll always find it, right? You know, it is what it is. You know, I'm not perfect. Okay. I'm just saying, dudes, you gotta take that high road eventually. I mean, I've been enlightened. Now it's you guys' turn to be enlightened, okay? You gotta get that enlightenment in you. Or you could keep lying to a bunch of random strangers on the internet. I'm sure they'll believe you anyway. Chances are they will, as we've seen with Nick Rekieta. Rekieta lies to his audience every fucking time. People that want to believe in you are going to believe your lies, like Rekieta. Everybody that's still believing Rekieta, they'll fucking put up with Diddler Dax. They'll put up with fucking Vito, you know, just there. They'll veto the pedo. They'll put up with fucking Ralph just because Rekieta said so. Just because Rekieta gives you a trust me, bro. Just because Rekieta says this is what's actually happening, and they just won't look into anything else. They'll just be like, okay, that's the same thing that's gonna happen with Nick. Nick's gonna do the same thing. Tom's gonna do the same thing. You know, going over the top with Pyro Cynical while his role model Zaptai Big B try to make that big comeback. You know, the adult that wanted to get it in with the minors, right? It happens all the fucking time. It just depends on how much of a uproar people are willing to make and whether or not it's beneficial. You know, that's just typically how the internet works. Like another instance of this is like the Dr. Disrespect thing, right? Doc, you don't even know the age of the minor. Could have been a 14-year-old. That's why Doc didn't fucking mention the age. But we got the quartering going in, sweeping for Doc, being like, it was actually a 17-year-old. All right, where's the source for that, Jeremy? Oh, no source needed. Okay. So then you got Jeremy just spreading a bunch of fake news about Doc sexting a 17-year-old, which would still be bad, by the way, because Doc was 38 at the time. So again, it's just, fuck, how much more simpler can I make it? Oh, yeah, I've said this on an upload before. The internet is the majority defend your favorite pedophile. That is literally what it is. You see it all the fucking time. Every fucking time. Every time. The influencers mostly. Okay? Bad stuff. Bad stuff. But it's okay. Because nobody's perfect. And we can be enlightened and move in a new direction. To where it doesn't need to be like this. Alright? Everybody needs to move into that direction of enlightenment. And realize you got to stop doing this shit. All right?
It's not
the Shadman stuff, obviously it's going to have something to do because of the time you're going to be investigating every single person, right? Like it's one of those things that popped up. I will say it wasn't.
But how can the Shadman have anything to do with it if Nux Taku is apparently going to be part of the podcast down the line? That's what you also claimed. The Nux Taku also claimed. That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Like if we're looking into how close his relationship is, right? Like if he's just doing an interview and it was supposed to be a Mimi interview, yeah, I'd probably say it was a dumb idea in general to do an interview. Just like I think the Oompaville Andrew Tate interview was pretty stupid. But down the road, I'll still work with you, considering you're not actually in a position of defending a lolicon artist. Now, if it turned out that the situation was deeper and the people that I, had reached out to me like a swarm Redditor said, no, this interview was supposed to be a total glazing of fucking Shadman, then yeah, we would have cut Nux Taku out of the future podcast endeavor that we're planning to bring back.
Part of the reason why Chud is so pissed is because his position is genuinely that is the case. And the Harmful Opinions video.
There goes fucking Turkey Tom.
In and of itself, I think. Have you heard of that one recently that came out?
No.
There's a content creator named Harmful Opinions who seems to have kind of put most of it together in like an easy to digest package that goes after Nux. And that's kind of what's been coming up in the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. So, I would recommend checking that one out and maybe taking a look. I don't know.
Did Nux do anything illegal or something?
Tom fucking... That's awesome. That's hilarious. Let me just fucking... He's like, yeah, I'm a fucking dip. I'm gone. Did you ever notice that the E-celebs also love watching, like, I don't know, it's just not, you know what, whatever. Yeah, let Nick keep talking. Yeah, let Nicky D keep talking, all right?
I don't think so. And listen, it's difficult because
I'm not... no idea to watch him do it.
I'm not the kind of person that wants to hold you to some standard for someone else's behavior. Okay, but Nux Taku is participating in your podcast and benefiting from your reputation. When, I think at the very least, he's a weird freak who was permissive of lolicon stuff when it benefits his channel years ago and now wants to act like he's nothing to do with it.
Yeah, again, there are archives of this shit. It's literally, like, again, they even have archives of fucking Nux changing his fucking thumbnails in real time. So again, yes, Nux is guilty of all this shit. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. And Muda, you're not dumb. I know you know about this. Again, it's not... Yo, I'm not even trying to be an asshole, dude. I'm just saying, if you're not even going to say, oh, there's no... If you're not going to give even your friend the benefit of the doubt that he didn't know about Shad's weird escapades, like, then there's no way you can have the benefit of the doubt, mate. You know what Nux was about. You knew Nux was... I don't know, whatever. Okay, whatever. You knew this. My main attack here, okay, because I'm a fancy individual now, is a hypocrisy argument. All right, that's all I'm saying, bro. It's a little hypocritical. It's a little hypocritical, pal. Be better. We all have to be better. All right.
In the video, it shows you some weird shit that he's had on his thumbnails and in the videos. I get it's difficult if you're his friend, But this is insane. This guy's a total freak.
Wait, so he's like a lolicon defender?
There's plausible deniability, right? So I've not got a video of him, jerking off to lolicon, okay? But what I do have is him using lolicon for his content, or using questionably aged people, or using completely degenerate shit in his videos, and he's showing it as like.
I love how like Muda just changed it to like, oh my god, I can't believe. Whatever, Muda Hard. That's. Whatever.
Like, oh, I don't want to show you this, but here's this content, isn't it gross? And then there's thumbnail issues where he's got like a thumbnail of, I believe, an underage character from Game of Thrones. At one point, he says he changed it after 15 minutes, and then there's other footage that shows that 2 weeks later he still had this thumbnail on there. So what makes it more difficult is.
The child thing.
What makes it more difficult is Nux Taku is not honestly presenting any of this stuff.
Then
he's clearly not doing it to
have
you.
him on the show for him to explain it then.
Yeah, I'd happily speak to this fucking guy. I would happily speak to this guy. Whether he wants to or not, I don't know. But yes, I think there's stuff here that he needs to fucking be more honest.
Yeah, where's the serial flex offender over here for this conversation? Like, oh god, that's another thing with Nux. He tries to act like he's a hard ass and he's so badass, but I have never seen him go into a confrontation. I mean, it would be kind of hard when you have like a goofy little VTuber avatar to represent you and shit. But I've never really seen him. I don't think I've seen him be confronted ever. Like, anytime he's made a response, he's always been in the comfort of his own little, VTube avatar and just making a video and stuff. And, that kind of shit. I don't think he's ever been in like an actual format where he's being called out on the spot. I also think it's kind of funny that Muda Hard defaulted to like, well, yeah, maybe you should scald him, Chud. Maybe you should spank him, I'm not gonna do shit. I hate Lolicon, but like, Nux, he's not my issue, man. He's just my friend. He's my internet friend. Here, Chud, you do it. You reprimand him. You spank him. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, okay, so your friend got exposed just now, and you're not denying it because the receipts are out there, and you're not gonna do. Where's the fake rage? Where's the rage? Okay, just in general, because I know it's fake rage most of the time. Right? Like, don't trust any, if not most, of you guys, you celebs, right? So I know it's got to be fake rage, because again, I've heard you started off with degen shit and creepypasta, right? So I'm gonna just go on a limb, and that's not even touching on your statements that you made that could be arguably degenerate. So I'm going to just say it's fake rage. Where is the fake rage right now with your friend Nux Taku is put under the microscope? It's not there. I don't see the fake rage. It's not there. It's gone. Oh shit. Well, that's kind of crazy. That's a little inconsistent. That's a little hypocritical. All right, I guess the fake rage isn't there, right? For some reason, I guess. Oh.
Just about, rather than just try and sweep it away using your reputation. Okay, I'm trying to be calm. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like we should just bring him on and confront him with it. Because look, the whole thing is like with his lolicon stuff is like his history. Because obviously, I think Nick even described it on this show just like 20 minutes ago. Like when or I think it was Tom, when you're collaborating with somebody, it's like obviously you're just sitting there making a video. We haven't done like a full background to look onto what his content is.
Oh my god, you gotta be shitting me. I was on
a few collabs.
No. What is this sweep, bro? Are you kidding me? Oh my. All right, you know what? This shit's fucking retarded. I think we get the picture of it. Muda's a hypocrite. He got caught defending his friend who's done the same thing he complains about and screams to the high heavens. That's terrible for whatever reason. And, his friend gets to do it, I guess. So he's gonna pass his friend along, though. He's like, hey, other YouTuber, if you want to spank my friend, you can do it. Okay, well, that's cool, Muda. Good shit. Let's see. The Mr. Beast shit will be pretty fast, okay? Because all I got to show for that is a bunch of bookmarks, kind of. There is, and again, I can make them digestible videos, which I probably will. I'll make it a 20-minute video or so covering everything, which should be easy, okay? So I'll make a quick rundown of it, and then we'll go and we'll finish up with Mad at the Internet, which is the Rekieta segment, okay? Got to give extra airtime to that. This is on my bookmarks. Pretty much Chris Tyson's partner leaked response to the drama has surfaced online. Messages were allegedly sent to the mods in the Discord and then leaked online via an anonymous account. Here it is. Chris Tyson's alleged SA victim has also responded to the leaked messages, indicating that the leaked messages are real, suggesting that only Chris Tyson's partner Eric could have access to them. So here are a bunch of things right here. The alleged anonymous account claims that MrBeast is afraid of inflaming a situation that can anger their corporate investors. Big corporate man Jimmy over there thinking for his pockets, you know, dollar. Cool. Ava Chris Tyson. Just call it Chris, man. It's a Chris. Chris is disgusted by the person she used to be, allegedly. Okay, bro. I totally believe you. Chris Tyson did not know Lab at GS was a minor, allegedly. That's what Chris said. Okay. Chris wishes that they had never engaged with Shadman. Yeah, I bet Nux Taku's feeling the same way. And I bet somewhere deep inside, Mutahar is wishing that he never engaged with Nux either. Chris denied advances made by the alleged SA victim. There is an HR investigation into the SA allegations. MrBeast doesn't allegedly want anyone to say anything publicly in case it causes more things to flare up online. Allegedly. MrBeast's team is preventing Chris Tyson from allegedly talking. Any response from Chris Tyson would flare stuff up again. Chris Tyson's first apology tweet was allegedly entirely written by the MrBeast executive under insane pressure of Amazon and the corporate investors. Oh my God. Amazon looked at that and they're like, oh, we can't have that shit. Oh, we can't have that shit at all, Jimmy. Okay, that's good to know. MrBeast and the Beast CEO had alleged tears in their eyes after Chris Tyson's tweet was posted and allegedly later regretted it. That's, okay, that's something. Proper third-party investigations are being done into everything that has been brought up against Chris Tyson. And finally, the corporate investors currently do not want Chris Tyson to have any social media presence for a number of years. It is important to clarify these claims are not being made by Drama Alert, so don't sue Keemstar. They originate from an anonymous account which allegedly belongs to a moderator for Chris Tyson's partner. DMs posted by this account have been indicated as well. They got Chris and his lovely partner speaks out allegedly again. Then there's the bullshit over here, a bunch of shit. All right, link to the full statement by the anonymous account. Chris Tyson's alleged essay sharing that the anonymous account posted alleged private messages, blah 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 blah. Alleged essay victim corroborating the claim that Chris's partner on Discord staff is allegedly exposing them. Laba GS and Nate, the minors at the time, denied the claims that Chris didn't know Laba's age. And apparently, like, the thing is, people are saying that Chris isn't really fired, just behind the scenes. So again, I guess a cover-up, a pedo cover-up, sort of, or Jimmy isn't pulling the plug. I don't know, man. It could be any number of things with these E-celebs, as I've learned. You know, it's extremely homosexual. All right, I think that's the way to put it. I think that's the best way to put it. Extremely homosexual. But then we got that stupid shit out of the way. We got the Nux shit out of the way. Nux getting cooked every angle. I don't know, man. I don't know if our good friend Nuxanor will be able to pull through. I'm sure he'll wig it. All right. But it's time for the finale, the Rekieta segment. So to be exact, the Mad at the Internet. So Josh's take on this entire thing, which I'm actually very interested in, because you know, Nick has been talking his shit on Josh. I want to have Josh's reaction. You know, it's just, it's eating up at me. I need to know. And again, shout out to the 100 of you still here. If you haven't liked the stream, please do, because YouTube ain't gonna do it for me. In fact, YouTube might just take likes away from me, homie. I don't know. I heard this this really stupid small channel think that like YouTube was taking views away from them, and it's like, bro, you don't even have 500 subs. What a fucking idiot. It's so dumb. It's so silly. Whatever. But all right, let's get into the Mad at the Internet Rekieta segment. Hot off the presses. I'm gonna see it more than I was expecting. But thank you everybody for dropping by. Okay, on this wonderful Friday night, which is now like technically Saturday, but whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll make more update videos on the Rekieta thing. Again, shout out to the 100+ of you that stuck all the way through. Awesome people. And again, like I said, I'm gonna momentarily put this members only so I could cut out the specific parts where Null went like popped off and shit. And then we'll republish it for everybody to enjoy. But again, members get it early. Let's see. Josh wins 86% of the vote. Rekieta 13% of the vote. Okay. Anyway, that's all we got for today's show. I don't know if we're gonna have a mystery show tomorrow. Maybe. Keep an eye out just in case. You never know. Saturdays are kind of out in the open, right? Fridays are a definite, unless something horrendous happens and like unable to fulfill these contractual obligations. Saturday, sometimes it's random. All right, it's random, but it's plausible because I did the poll, and apparently some of you guys want Saturday streams as well. So we might have a little Saturday here and there. Remember to send a like and a subscribe. Yeah, that's right, Patrick. That's right. All right. Anyway, I will see you all in the next one. Have a good rest of your night, everybody. Peace out.